Y'all just be coming up lying, bro. They just be coming up lying. Who's gonna believe that I called you at 2 a.m.? Why would I need to do that? They just be coming up and lying, bro. So I called you at 2 a.m. Ain't nobody got time for that, man. Anybody got time for that? Anyway, if you disagree with what I have on the board, go ahead and come on up. I would appreciate any calls, any guests. Bro really sat here and said that I call him at 2 a.m. All right, we got a guest. We'll go ahead and bring them up.
Hello, sir. How are you?
How's it going? Are you at least 18? And what did you want to talk about?
I am 18 years old. Turn 18 this year.
Okay, cool. What did you want to talk about?
Last year. Sorry, not this year. Sorry. I want to talk about both of them, but let's start with the first one. Am I allowed to talk with both of them?
You can talk about both of them. Yeah, sure. Well, yeah, I think leftist policies are better for society. What do you understand leftist policies to be, and why do you think they're not good for society?
No. What kind of policies you are referring to? That's what we want me to get to bottom of this.
I'm talking about things such as universal health care, guaranteed housing, things like universal education, parental leave, reforming our entire justice system, stuff like that.
Well, I have no problem except for the last one.
Okay, why do you disagree with reforming our justice system? Because our justice system, the way that it runs right now, is just based on carceral punishment, and we've seen that it causes high recidivism. So,
you're referring to the American system.
Referring to the American system, yeah, of course. I live in America.
Oh, okay. That's. Then I'm not gonna comment on that because I don't live in it. But I do see that it's an unjust system. But I believe. I follow my religion. I don't follow any leftist or rightist policies. I follow what my religion explicitly says.
Okay, and what does it say?
Universal healthcare is a basis of definition. The same way with universal education, as the Prophet peace be upon him said, there's an obligation upon every Muslims to gain knowledge.
All right, great. So you agree?
So the house schools of thought, such as the Malikis, the Hanbalis, Shafi'is, all agree upon that the Caliphate job is to provide, that they derive it from this authentic narration from Bukhari, that the government should assist the people, including the dhimmis, the non-believers, that they should get education.
Okay, great. So you agree? Leftist policies are good for society.
But I'm not a leftist.
All right. So, but you agree with universal health care, guaranteed education, things like that, right?
If it's from my religion, of course.
If it's from your religion, all right. What if we don't have your religion, but society simply has it? Because like your religion can't run society. That's not how that works.
No, it can because it's from God.
I don't believe in a God. So the thing is, the problem with what you're saying is that there's gonna be people in your society that are not a part of your religion and don't believe in a God either. So we can't base it just off your religion.
That's why, for example, unless you have the committing a capital offense or large offensive, you can have your own. For example, we gave the Christians and the Jews their own code laws. For example, the dietaries, etc. In their own community, they're allowed to follow it and practice.
Yeah, I don't think we need to do all that. Well, all we need to do is live in a society that guarantees all those things. We don't need to have different codes for different religions. That's stupid.
No, I think the correct religion, Islam, should follow should rule the society because it's from God.
I understand that's what you think, but theocracies are all bad. I don't want to live in a theocracy.
How's theocracy? Like for what? I don't want
theocracies always impugn upon human rights. Now you can say that your religion is not going to do that, but every single time we tried a theocracy, no matter what it was, it automatically did that. So no, I'm not gonna live in a theocracy.
Do not refer
Muslim
do
or
not
otherwise.
refer to the do not refer to the Christian or the Jewish one, but can you refer to the Islamic ones? Which one? Impede on human rights. Can you refer it?
Yeah, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I don't exactly. It's not exactly a caliphate. So nice, right?
It's a theocracy.
It's not exactly a caliphate.
I don't care. It's a theocracy.
But it's not a caliphate.
Is the caliphate a theocracy?
Yes.
Okay, so Saudi Arabia is a theocracy. They impugn on human rights.
So
all theocracies impugn on human rights. All of them.
I want you to give an example from the caliphate.
Saudi Arabia.
They are Muslim countries. They go against. They don't even rule with Sharia mostly. They pick out things from the Sunnah and the Quran, and they leave out other things and include the Western liberalism into the belief. It's just a mix. So
what are you talking about?
I'm saying that it's not an actual theocracy. I'm asking
yeah, it
you
is.
to give that
a theocracy. A theocracy is ruled by religion, and that's what Saudi Arabia is.
Okay, so how is it ruled by religion when he goes against the religion himself?
Saudi Arabia doesn't go against the religion.
His ruling goes against the religion. For example, in 2015, he removed the flogging. Why did he remove that? For adultery.
He removed flogging for adultery?
Yes.
That's actually a good thing.
That's not the good thing. That's not.
Yeah, it is. Why would you flog someone why would you flog someone because they decided to be sexually immoral? So what?
Yes, they should. If they don't in public and what's so called being caught by 4 witnesses, they should be flogged.
Why? You see, you actually proved my point.
How is it infringing upon human rights, though?
Because is the state abusing someone because they did something they didn't like?
Upon what?
It is again, theocracies always impugn on human rights, and you just proved it.
No,
because you just said if someone cheats on their wife or their husband, they're gonna get flogged in the streets.
I want you to give example from it. They could be flogged or stoned, but it depends. But
exactly.
Anyway.
So the death penalty for adultery is crazy.
It depends, but there's
don't depend. The religion is crazy.
There's different schools of thought, but you should, if you don't want to be if you don't want to be put to death, don't shit then. But anyway.
Yeah, you see, that's insane.
That's not insane.
Killing people because they did something that we don't like is kind of crazy.
No, because it has an effect on society. If everybody decided to cheat, for example,
that's not what happens, bro. That ain't what happens. People cheat all the time, and that's not entire society.
Yes. May I speak? Sorry if I interrupted you, but I wasn't done talking. Thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. So, for example, when people have more of a sexual immorality, when countries after the Napoleonic Wars spread ideas upon secularizing states, when people remove the church and mosque. Although I don't go by Christian faith, but I'll use the example to make my point. People used to have sex everywhere, whether it's woman or man. It's equally on both. And guess what? So much diseases, unknown diseases, decided to compare just because of having too much sex, such as AIDS and AIDS, etc. This is the thing, and this is why in Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah in the Quran, this is why the Prophet said that in the future this will happen. There will be moral decay. Therefore, there's need to be a harsher punishment to prevent this.
No, but bro, this is what I'm saying to you. All right, harsher punishments do not stop that. People are still going to. It was okay. I'm just taking ops for now. We're waiting for a phone call. People are still going to be going to cheat on their wives, whether this happens or not. That's number one. But saying that you're gonna kill somebody for it, it doesn't stop the behavior. And number two, you can stop that behavior without killing people. We in the United States right now, affairs are in the minority of things, right? Affairs still happen, but they're in the minority. You're never going to stop all affairs. That's not gonna happen, bro.
Affairs is not is a part of Western cultures. Like many women and men equally do it. This is because there isn't a definite punishment for it. However, if there's a harsher punishment, such as flogging or upon the stones, or like for adultery, then people will do it less because they are afraid, as they should be. You should not
Yeah,
commit this. Don't do it.
and that's a human rights violation.
Whatever you want to define it, that is not human rights violation.
You just proved to me how a theocracy would impugn on human rights.
Okay, so I want you to give an example from one of the caliphates. I don't want you to refer to the Saudi Arabia or any.
I'm going off of what you just said. Literally going off what you just said. I'm literally going off of what you just said. You just said this. You just said that in your imaginary caliphate, cheating on your spouse will be the death penalty.
As it should. Is that a problem?
Yeah.
Is that a problem?
It's a problem because people shouldn't die for doing something that there are things that are, for number one, I just don't believe in a death penalty. I don't believe the state should be killing people. But number two, I don't believe that people should be dying. I don't think people should be killed for doing something that we view as just unethical, right? Cheating on your spouse is unethical. We all agree on that. But does that unethical practice rise up to dying? No, it doesn't.
I mean, number one, number one. For you to get that sentence, there has to be several witnesses. There has to be several layers.
Can people lie?
Okay, yes, this is the thing.
There's the problem there. Yeah, but there's no. That's your problem there. No, you stop. No, it all stops there. It all stops there. It stops there. No. Listen. It stops there. The moment I say, hold on, the moment I ask you, can people lie? It stopped there because you said you need to have. Hold on. You said we need to have 4 witnesses. All 4 of them could just lie. So now you have a problem. Now you're just going to put people to death for no reason.
Can I speak without being interrupted? Because I was about to answer. No, this is because this punishment is nearly impossible to be acted unless she was doing it on site. Because these 4 witnesses have to have a trustworthy reputation. Number 2, they have to see that penetration with their own eyes going in.
Exactly. Zaydo, that means they're going off of trust me, bro.
No, please hold on.
No, I'm not holding on anymore. Listen, the issue with what you're saying is that it's all based on trust me, bro. That's what it's based on. All you gotta do is get 4 guys who doesn't like a woman and say, I saw her cheat with this guy over here and I saw the penetration. They can make this shit up, bro, and you kill an innocent person.
No,
you and I both know that's a possibility.
This is why I said this is an impossible case, because there has to be a reasonable justification. If they say, oh, I saw this person doing it, and the victim argues that I did not do it, then it is upon the judge to believe on the victim. Upon the victim, the victim agrees.
But you just said. Hold on, wait. Let me get this straight.
Listening to me, are you making your own
you just said in these. So wait. Hold on. So hold on, wait. For adultery to get the death penalty, it has to be 4 witnesses, and the person who's going to die has to admit to it.
Yes, because in Islam we believe that, for example, adultery, a death penalty will forgive your sins in a way. Otherwise, if you lie upon knowing the adultery, you're finished in the afterlife. You're facing God who knows everything. So if you, for example, you're gonna be finished in the afterlife, you're gonna be punished by God. I'd rather be punished by the state than be punished by God. And it's upon the judge to believe the victim.
So
you
don't see the issue, do you? Okay. How about I ask you about this? How about queer people?
What?
How about queer people? The LGBTQ community.
What
the fuck? What are you doing? I asked you about the LGBTQ community.
What about it?
What about them? What's gonna happen to them under your caliphate?
If they're Muslims, wait, hold on.
Well, apparently there's going to be gay Muslims. I didn't know that.
Wait, hold on. Someone called me. Give me a second.
All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and keep it rolling. Daddy, I was only taking ops for now, but I'll bring you up real quick and drop you down because I won't take an ops for now. But I'll bring you up and drop you down right after because I won't take an ops for now.
Hold on. Someone just called me. Sorry for interrupting. They put to death. Is that a problem?
Yes, that is a problem. You just proved to me that that this caliphate is going to be impugning our human rights because people from the LGBTQ community are human. They don't choose who they are. So putting them to death for them not for something that they were born as violates human rights automatically. You don't see how insane this is?
Like, how long do I got? If I'm in your country, how long do I have until you put me to death? Is it immediate?
If there's specific evidence that you are that, then yes. But if you just say that you don't do it, then the judge has to believe you.
So I'm fine if I live in the closet.
You don't be gay in the first place.
He doesn't choose that.
You think it's a choice?
I mean, don't lust after man.
See, I'm pansexual. I don't care about gender. Like, so does that factor in?
I don't know what that is, bro.
So if on Monday I choose to sleep with your mother and on Tuesday I choose to sleep with your father, is that okay?
Committing adultery.
No, it's very consensual.
No, brother.
Wait,
no.
In that case, is the adultery the problem, or is it the fact that I'm sleeping with your dad?
Yeah, which one is it?
Sleeping
which
with
one's
a man
the bigger crime?
Sleeping with a father is more of a greater sin.
It's a great. Okay, so it's the adultery. So if they got divorced, it's fine then.
No, in marriage, sex outside marriage isn't allowed.
Oh, so
this is so crazy, bro. This is insane. This is insane, bro. Jesus Christ. So now we all got to be virgins until like 22 when we get married. That's just not happening, bro. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Absolutely insane.
See, I love having these conversations because the more and more they talk, the more people realize, oh, religion is batshit fucking crazy.
Yeah, this is insane.
Like, the more you speak, the less likely people are going to join your religion. It's great. It's great having these convos.
I mean, if they don't decide to accept it first, it's up to them. It's between them and God.
Yeah, and you are helping in people actively deciding to stay away from your faith.
Exactly.
I want to ask a question. Since you guys are atheists, or are you guys atheists?
Yeah, we're atheists.
What do you base your moral off?
Pure human empathy, degrees of harm, equality, things like that. Just like how that's like how most of us do, except maybe except for you.
Okay. Prove people eating babies is wrong.
Yeah, sure. Eating baby. So go ahead, Daddy.
It causes harm.
Yeah, it causes harm. There we go.
Unnecessary harm.
Yeah, but what if that society doesn't think it's harm, such as the Aztec civilization?
They have a different definition of the word harm?
No, if that society, you said you base.
Yeah, are they using the active definition of the word harm?
They, in their own interpretation.
Then they would inherently be illogical.
But in their own interpretation,
in their own interpretation, it would be illogical.
But
they're not using the laws of logic to come to this decision.
This is insane. All right, guys, pause me real quick because I got a call.
Call from
John.
Hey, John, how's it going? Are you at least 18? And what did you want to talk about? John. You there, John?
Yeah, I'm 19. I just wanted to hop in on the chat and just listen to what's going on.
Okay, great. Can you hear me now, John?
Yeah, again.
Cool. What did you want to talk about?
Dude, anything. I mean, I think like the why we should believe in God question is kind of interesting.
All right, cool. Can you pause me real quick? Yeah. I'll be right back with you. All right, so Zaydo, we've been on here for a while. I do appreciate you, but we're gonna drop you in and move on now. Okay, appreciate you.
No worries.
All right. So, Daddy, I appreciate you as well. Go ahead and just tap that screen for me, and I appreciate you. All right, come back anytime. We gotta set up for us to. No problem. We gotta set up a collab between us one day, because I've been missing your lives. Yeah. So, one day
I go live at 11 o'clock at night, and I'm only live for like an hour at most because I get no ops. But yeah, definitely we can do that.
Cool. Gotcha. All right. Next time I'm gonna try to come up. All right. Appreciate you, man.
Appreciate you, man.
No problem. All right, Lawrence, I'm gonna get to you next. Let me just go ahead and talk to John over on my phone line, and I'll get to you. Okay, appreciate you.
For sure.
All right, John, how's it going? Over on my phone line, we have John. I think he said 31.
No, 19.
Okay, John, 19. And you want to talk about number 2, right? Why should I believe in God?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, I don't think that there's a good reason to believe in a God because I don't have any evidence that it's true. Excuse me. Why do you think I should believe in a God?
Because I think, like, if you believe in science, you're pretty much putting faith in something. So even if you were to be an atheist, it's not really possible because one way or another you're an agnostic.
I have no idea how do you even get to that conclusion. I don't put my faith in science. Science is a process, so there's no faith to be put there. It's basically how we find the reasons for the phenomenon that we see, right? That's what science is. How is something that I'm actively doing a faith? That doesn't make any sense.
What do you mean by that? Clarify.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out how do you get faith from a process, because that's what science is. It's just a process.
Well, it's more like what's the point of even being part of Earth? Like, what's the point of existence if there's no point in?
What's the point of existence? Whatever point that we make, whatever we decide our point of our existence is.
So pretty much you're your own God, is what you're saying.
I'm not saying I'm my own God. I'm saying I make my own point. Why can't we do that? Why can't we make our own process?
Make your own point.
What?
Okay, so you're saying that you're creating your own. You're pretty much creating your own life based on how you want to perceive it.
Yeah,
I'm basing. Faith.
No, I don't need faith. Yeah, I'm basing my my life on being as helpful and as loving as not causing. Uplifting human well-being as much as possible and not causing harm, et cetera, things like that. We don't really need faith for that. Okay, like, do I need faith to be a good person?
Where do you think those traits come from?
What? Do I need faith to be a good person?
Right. No, you don't.
Right, exactly.
So where do those traits come from?
What traits?
They don't come. No, because human beings don't have you can't have conscience without divine power.
You can't have conscience without divine power. How do you know that?
You can't, because it's based on faith. You need to have a higher power.
Wait, hold on. Wait, stop. Wait, slow down. You need to have your slow down. You just said you can't have consciousness without a higher power. How do you know that?
Yeah.
What evidence do you have of that? That's true.
How can you manage to make a decision based on loving and affection without having yourself tell you that that's wrong and that's right?
What are you saying?
So if you were to be like a burglar and you went into I don't know, gas station, you went to rob someone, how do you what is the part of you that is saying, oh, this is correct or this is wrong?
Empathy.
That's called consciousness, is that not?
Yeah, that's your empathy.
But those traits come from the Creator. They don't just come from your
hold on. There's a problem. Hold on. There's a problem. There's a problem. John, slow down. You just made a claim that you cannot prove. How do you show that our empathy comes from this Creator that you just made up? How do you do that? Because from what we've seen, social animals, basically all of them, have a form of empathy. Like elephants have empathy for each other.
That's exactly my point. It's because everything is created by God. So you just proved my point.
You actually have to prove that a God exists first, and then you have to prove that He created it.
Okay, prove that a God exists first. So what do you believe in? How do you think we got here?
What do you mean? What does that mean?
How do you think things were created?
What does that mean? Why do we exist? Are you saying what happened to existence? What made existence existence?
Yeah.
Oh, from what we've seen, the universe expanded from a hot dense state. Pretty much it.
Okay, well, where do you think that theory comes from?
Well, I think that theory comes from. What do you mean?
Who created that theory? What was the Big Bang Theory from? Who created it?
George LeMaitre.
Who?
George LeMaitre.
Okay, so a Christian is what you're saying.
Yeah. So
He was a renowned Christian who created a theory that science used to try to prove that there was no God.
but the Big Bang doesn't prove that. Hold on, listen. The Big Bang does not prove. Hold on. The Big Bang. The Big Bang. The Big Bang. The Big Bang does not. Hold on. Stop. The Big Bang does not prove that there is a God. All George LeMaitre did was so that the mathematics shows that the universe was compacted at a certain point in time. That's all he did. It doesn't prove a God.
You're saying, okay, but even that's what I'm trying to get to, dude. Is that like, if you're saying that there is, if you're saying that the universe was created by X, Y, and Z, correct? And by the way, this is a study and a theory. It's not even a fact. Okay, science just made it a fact because they can make a fact based on whatever they want.
No, they can't. That's not how that
Right?
works.
You know,
John, do you understand
very
how
much
science
is how-
works? John, do you understand how science works?
It's called,
John, hold on, John.
It's called
John,
the Big
John, John, listen to what I'm saying
the
to you.
Big-
John, slow down, bro. I
love
need
how
you to slow down. John, I need you to actually, John, I need you to actually slow down because you're just going a mile a minute. John, relax for me real quick. John, relax for me real quick, bro. Please. I'm asking you nicely, please, to relax for a second because you're going a mile a minute. You're doing it again. You're going a mile a minute, bro. You have to actually slow down and think about what you're saying here. Yes, George LeMaitre was a Catholic preacher, and through his mathematics, he showed that the universe was compacted at a certain point. And yes, he was one of the leading people because at that time, physicists were arguing, is the universe static or is it expanding? And they didn't agree. And George LeMaitre, his mathematics will show that, yes, it is expanding. That does not show that a God exists. He was a physicist. He did the math, and he said, listen, this is what the math is showing. And not only that, he was just in a camp. There were two camps of people who were saying that the universe expands, and there was another camp of people who were saying that the universe is static. George LeMaitre was part of the camp that said that it expands, and he was able to prove it. That's all he was able to prove. That does not show a God exists. That's the first thing.
How do you?
Okay.
Okay. So if you're saying that the universe expands, which is now proven, how do you think the universe was created? What created the universe?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know where the hot dense state came from.
That's what I'm trying to say. There had to have been a God because
Okay, so prove it.
A God.
Okay, so prove it.
I'm trying to tell you, but if you could stop interrupting me and telling me that I'm going too fast, then I could prove it.
Okay, what mathematics did you do to show that the hot dense state came from a supernatural being outside of space and time? What did you do?
So in order for you, okay, I'm gonna try to go as slow as possible, okay? But please don't interrupt me.
I just need you to tell me which mathematics I should use to do that.
I will.
Okay, cool.
The only possible way of creating something that we do not understand how it was created was by showing that there was a God. A God is the only thing that you can use to put in that place. For example, you can say, oh, okay, so if you're going to say that the universe was created by God, then what created God? Well, you just said that because God is supernatural, his powers are unlimited. He can do whatever he wants. We don't know the existence of God because we haven't been able to study God. But in order to find what created the universe, you need a God to use them as pretty much a X, Y, and Z. Does that make sense?
No, you don't see what you just did you?
No. So
you put the cart before the horse. You're assuming a God before you prove one. I asked you, how do you show that that a God created a hot dense state that the universe came from, and all you said was it's because it had to be a God. You basically just did a big trust me, bro. You actually have to hold on, wait, John. The question is, because you said, you asked me where the hot dense state come from, where the universe expanded from. I told you I don't know. You said it had to be a god. I said, okay, how do you prove that? You said the way that we prove it is because it had to be a god.
It's because all the traits in the physical world point to a god. Does that make sense?
Prove that.
I mean, look at the universe in itself. Look at the theory in itself.
What about it?
Velocity, Velocity, can you hear me?
The Christian
Yeah, I can hear you. Give me a second.
All right.
Sorry.
No, someone on my TikTok. Go ahead. What I'm saying is that you said that all the traits of the universe itself points to a god. How? How do you show that to be true?
So all the traits of the universe show that there is pretty much continued expansionism, correct?
Yeah, do we see that the universe is expanding in all directions? Well,
Right.
sort
So
of.
that means that the universe is creating itself.
No, it
In order
doesn't.
for you to have a universe that is creating itself, then you need a god.
The universe is not creating
Just
itself,
that-
my guy. Expansion of the universe doesn't mean it's
Just-
creating itself. I don't think you understand what you're talking about.
Okay, so you explain then what is the expansion?
That's all it is. Expansion. The universe is expanding.
Okay, but what is expansion then?
Was expanding on? What do you mean?
Like you're pretty much just putting it in a bubble. You're not really clarifying what you're saying. You're just saying it's expanding, and I'm asking what is expansion?
What do you mean?
Does
What
that
is
mean it's
expansion? You
creating
know what
itself?
you know what you don't know the definition of expansion?
No, just give it to me.
No, yes, you do. You know the definition of expansion. I'm not gonna sit here and troll with you. You know what I say when something expands. You know exactly what that means. We're not. Hold on. Listen.
Expansion.
Listen. We're not gonna stop, John. We're not gonna sit here and be stupid. Something expanding does not mean it's creating itself. A balloon doesn't create itself when it expands, does it? This is stupid.
The balloons are.
So you know what expansion means, okay? So when we say that the universe is expanding, that means that it's stretching out in all directions as far as from our perspective, is going out in all directions. It's expanding. Now, if you say what is it expanding into, we don't know that. We have no clue. But all we see is that space-time itself is expanding out. That's what we see. That doesn't mean it's creating itself.
Okay, so that's the thing with the balloon. It's a balloon already a pre-made surface that is meant for expansion, but without having the air, it's not really a balloon, is it?
It's not going to expand. Exactly. No, I get that. It's not the greatest analogy, but it's only the best that we can use. Right now, we don't have.
Kind of get what I'm saying, though. It's kind of like the balloon and the universe are similar in different ways, but they're kind of like you can still kind of like put it in that same idea. Does that make sense?
You can put in the same idea, yes. But what I'm saying is that the universe expanding doesn't mean that it's creating itself. It's simply expanding. And we haven't even gotten to a God yet. Just because the universe is expanding doesn't mean that a God exists. The thing is, you're seeing a phenomenon and you're simply concluding that a God is God. How do we do that?
In order for you to, okay, actually, sorry, keep saying what you were saying. My bad. What
I'm saying is that you're pointing out a phenomenon. It's a phenomenon that we're not sure of yet, or we're not sure of why it's happening, and you're simply concluding, therefore, God. You're not making the obvious connection there. What's the connection? How do you get to the God?
Well, because so my point is this, okay? In order for you to have a consciousness, in order for you to have something, you need spirituality, correct or no?
What do you mean? In order for you to have something, you have to have spirituality. That's not. How do you show that to be true?
How do you know things from right from wrong without saying it's your parents that taught you that?
Consciousness, our conscious, our empathy. We don't like to harm other people because that's not a good way for you to get along with your neighbors. We're a social species, right? So in order for us to survive, empathy had to become a thing. And all social animals have some sort of empathy.
Okay, but that's what I'm trying to tell you is that comes from a God. Does that not make sense?
You need to prove that's the case. How do you show that came from a God? What evidence do we have of that?
You just said the evidence is empathy. In order for you to have empathy, you need a God.
No, you don't.
You need to have something else that created you in order to have that trait. You can't just simply assume. Oh,
we
wait, that's
evolved the
wrong.
trait, my guy. We evolved the trait. Again, we're social animals. We evolved the trait.
Okay, you understand how that's flawed because you're saying we evolved the trait. Well, then you're saying every single animal evolved the trait.
I didn't say every single animal evolved the trait. I said social animals. Social animals have a form of empathy. If you look at elephants, you look at dolphins, you look at mice, you look at cats, they all have a source of empathy. Now, solitary animals like tigers and bears, you will see that they don't have a lot of empathy because they're solitary. But once you go over to a social animal like lions, you can see that they have a little bit more empathy for, at least for their group members. So humans are social animals. Right, we're social animals, so we have a higher now because we're social animals and Homo sapiens basically took over the planet. Our empathy is a lot more complicated than a dolphin, right? But if you look at schools of dolphins, if you look at herds of elephants, if you look at prides of lions, you'll see that they have some sort of empathy for their in group. But then you look at solitary animals like leopards and leopards and tigers and bears, they really don't have a lot of empathy for their in group because they're solitary.
Not really true though.
Bears don't really have a lot of empathy for each other. A bear would take out the cubs in order to put the mother in heat. Now lions do the same thing, but lions. Not really birds, but what I was gonna say about tigers will do the same thing. They'll take out the cubs. Lions do the same thing too. They're one of those social animals that don't have a lot of that they have empathy for their in group. But the cub is not part of their in group, so they don't have empathy for the cub. You know what I mean? Now some actually do adopt cubs. That does happen.
The mother bear generally has empathy for cubs, but that's because she's protecting their offspring. But that's
protecting her offspring, exactly.
Listen, you can say the same for a human. Like for example, you could say the same for a bad person. Like you'll have a bad guy who doesn't want offsprings of a certain group of people. Right, you could say the same for let's say radical racist or something. Right, you're gonna want to target a specific group of people. You could say the same for a bear.
Right, but the thing is with the racist people is that they were conditioned to not have empathy. Like if you take a KKK member with a 5-year-old and a person who's a Black Panther with a 5-year-old, and you put those two kids in the room together, they're gonna start playing with each other. It's the parents that load the hatred into them. The kids don't see that.
Well, I mean, to be fair though, that is true that their parents taught them to grow up a certain way. So
exactly, and that came from their parents before them.
Yeah, but that still doesn't really answer the empathy question because even those people have empathy within their own group.
Right. What I'm saying is that the reason why you have people who are prejudiced towards others is and want to, commit genocide on them is because they've been conditioned to not have empathy.
Yes, but that's my point though. Is where does empathy come from?
It's innate. We're born with it, bro. Except for people with ASPD.
Okay, so if you're born with it, where does it come from?
We evolved it. This is like saying where does your eye color come from? We evolved it, bro. We evolved empathy. That's where it comes from.
We're just gonna disagree on this, but
all right, we're out of time, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and move on. I do appreciate y'all being here. Y'all keep liking the live, keep sharing. Over on the Deconstruction Junction, I do appreciate y'all there. I appreciate y'all over on Deconstruction Junction. Y'all amazing. Over on the Volcy Thoughts channel, I appreciate y'all there as well. Y'all amazing. I don't know why you're saying game over for, but okay. On Volcy Thoughts on the Black Atheist Coalition, I appreciate y'all. Y'all amazing. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for watching from the Deconstruction Junction as well. All right. We're gonna talk to Who Grew. I'm not sure how to say your name.
Oh, you're good, man. Velocity, how's it going, man? How are you doing today?
I'm all right. All right. So are you at least 18? And what did you want to talk about?
Yeah, I am. I'm 23. And I wanted to talk about your second point. Why should I believe in God?
Sure. Why should I believe in a God?
The recent conversation you were having with John, I heard you kept saying, what's the proof? Is that correct?
Yes. Well, what evidence do we have?
What evidence do we have? What do you look at as evidence or proof? Something that you can see or hold on to?
Not necessarily. Evidence would be something that's testable, repeatable, demonstrable.
testable, repeatable, and what's that last word again?
Demonstrable.
Okay. Something that's testable. What does that environment look like?
It could be in a lab, or it can be in a field.
In a home, right?
It could be in a
like
home
in a
too.
home. All right, thank you. The second one we said. Can you repeat the second one?
Testable, repeatable, meaning that you can repeat what the last person did to get the same results.
Repeatable. In the story, have you read the Bible before?
Yes.
In the story of John, something repeatable happening for people having experiences of seeing visions. Have you ever had a vision before?
I've had visions before, yes.
Do you think these are your own visions, Mr. Velocity?
I need you to say my name right.
Velocity, is that correct, or is it something else?
Do you see a T in the name there?
No, I don't actually. Is it? How do you say it?
Okay, sound it out, please. It's 5 letters, bro. It cannot be this hard. It's Volcy. Jesus Christ.
Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. That's not in the dictionary, so that's a new word for me. Volcy. I like it. I like it though. That's a nice name. Repeatable though. In the story of John, having a vision, being able to see the supernatural without looking. And you said that you've had a vision before, right?
Yes.
Okay. In your visions, do you think you're operating in control of these visions? Do you think you have control over what you're seeing?
Not necessarily. Sometimes
I've had visions too.
It's sometimes what your brain does, but visions won't be something that's repeatable because you can't repeat my vision.
Well, no, what I'm telling you is in the story of John. That's what I started off with. Something repeatable is Jesus coming to John and showing him a vision of what the end time of the world would look like. And for the proof that we all are seeing visions, that is something that is repeatable. Is that not, Mr. Volcy?
No, because how do you show that? How do you know that John actually got visions from Jesus about the end times? How do we prove that to be true? Just because the Bible says,
write it down.
Right, but what I'm saying is that's simply what the Bible says. How do we know that's true?
Okay. What was the third one you said?
Demonstrable.
Demonstrable. Can you explain that?
Like something completely obvious, like me having a hat on my head is demonstrable. Or like the moon is in the sky. Like all you gotta do is go out at night and boom, there's the moon. That's demonstrable.
So testable and repeatable. Would you say that would be the American dollar? For the back of it saying "In God We Trust"?
No, that's just a statement. That doesn't show a God exists.
That doesn't show a God exists.
No, it doesn't. That's just a statement.
But you said that's your version of proof. Testable and repeatable.
The slogan "In God We Trust" being on a dollar doesn't prove a God. That's just a statement. It's not something that you test.
We have tested.
What do you mean we have tested? How do you test "In God We Trust"? How do you test that?
Well, you have trust in something that you're reading and you follow what you're reading. Do you deceive yourself or do you believe what you're reading?
What? What are you saying? Listen, bro. Having "In God We Trust" on our money is not a testable, repeatable evidence for a God. That's not how that works. It's simply a statement
version of truth.
No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
You said
no, it's not. Hold on.
I said, hey, what is truth?
Listen,
what is truth for you?
listen to what I'm saying to you.
Go ahead.
"In God We Trust" is a statement that was put on the dollar bill in the 50s. That is not a testable, repeatable, evidentiary field or lab experiment for a God. It's just a statement that we put on a dollar. It's not an experiment, bro. What are we saying? They could have put "In genies we trust." Would that have been proof of genies? This is stupid. And he ran. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and keep it. We're gonna keep it cooking. I do appreciate y'all. I do appreciate everybody being here. All right, if you're over on the Deconstruction Junction, once again, if you'd like to call in, the number is right there on the board. It is pinned as well. Cold Blue, that's your name, Cold Blue. Go ahead and call in. The number's right there. You can go ahead and call in. We can go ahead and talk about that. If you're watching me over on the Deconstruction Junction, if you're watching me over on Volcy Thoughts, number's right there. You guys can go ahead and call in. If you're watching me over on the Black Atheist Coalition, phone number's right there. You can definitely call in. If you're watching me over on Facebook or Twitch, once again, the phone number is right up top. You can call in and I will appreciate you. I will appreciate you. All right, y'all. We're gonna be here and just chilling for a second until we go ahead and get someone to come on in. Any callers, or anyone who would like to join in on the live. Go ahead and put a highlight here. All right, y'all. So we're just waiting around. We're gonna go ahead and see who can go ahead and come in. Yeah, that guy's delusional. I have no idea what was happening there. Have no clue what was happening there. That guy's really delusional. The guy's completely delusional. Anyway, once again, All right, how's it going, caller? Can I get your name, age, and what did you want to talk about?
Yeah, I'm 25, and I'm the cold blue that you just mentioned.
All right, sure. All right, cold blue. What did you want to talk about?
I was just wondering what your view is on why do you think Christianity is like hated the most, and why was it prosecuted the most and persecuted, and why were Christians like slaughtered so much? Like,
well,
Christianity isn't real.
All right, so number one, I would say the Jews actually have way more persecution than the Christians did, especially historically. Number two, hold on, you asked me the question. So you asked me first, why do I think it's prosecuted the most? It's not. The Jews were actually more prosecuted than Christians were. But the second thing is, why were they prosecuted in the first place or slaughtered in untold millions? That's because of course it's because of sectarianism. When it comes to like the ancient Romans, Christians were kind of like a danger to their basically their political system, essentially. So the entire political system what was based on god kings, like the emperor is the one who rules. If you're worshiping some sort of other god, then that's a threat to their system, you know what I mean? So that's why they went after them. When it comes to other countries, but ever since Europe and the West got Christianized, that doesn't happen anymore. When it comes to other countries, you would have to basically you have to show me which country that they are being persecuted in, and there's likely going to be like historical or sectarian reasons for it.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of countries, but I really actually enjoy how you brought up like the emperors and like kings, oligarchies and stuff, like how they thought it was like threatening to them, because like don't you think that's interesting how like they think it's threatening because it means that there's a higher power above them, and then that gives the people like a reason to not follow that king or queen, right?
I mean,
so it's interesting, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, it's the Christian belief was a threat to their system, but that doesn't mean that the belief is suddenly automatically true, does it?
Well, not automatically. I mean, you would need examples of faith and like things to prove it, like, which I agree with. But I always thought that was interesting. The like empires like always found it threatening. Now with the Jew stuff, are you Jewish?
I'm not Jewish, no.
No? Okay. Because, like, see, the Jews are very interesting because, like, I've been learning a lot about them. And, like, I even found that Christianity is actually younger than Judaism. But with Judaism, Jesus Christ was Jew. But the Jews today that you see with, like, the curly hair and stuff, those are not the same Jews that follow Jesus Christ. Those are the Talmudic Jews, okay? The Jews have, like, different sects and stuff.
Yeah, I know about all that. What do we answer?
But the thing is, I don't think Jews were slaughtered or, killed as much as Christians, because have you ever looked into the Holodomor?
What do you call the Holocaust,
or like
then?
what happened in Ukraine?
What do you call the Holocaust, then?
The Holocaust?
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe in the Holocaust?
Holocaust happened.
But have you ever looked at like anything that like happened after? Like,
We're not
how they,
denying the
like,
Holocaust here,
studied
bro. The Holocaust happened.
it? Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, that's your belief. That's okay.
It's not a belief. It happened. It's a factual thing in history.
Sure, man. But anyway.
All right. So what countries are there that Christians are persecuted?
Oh, plenty of countries, bro. So the Middle East, Africa, Northern Africa, to be more specific.
These aren't countries.
Like Nigeria and stuff.
These aren't countries. Well, Nigeria is a country, yes, but all right. So Nigeria is 50-50, right? The Nigeria is an issue of sectarianism, and not only that, it's actually an issue of like ethnic issues, because it's between like Fulani pastoralists who are mostly Muslim and people who are herders who are mostly Christian. So it's an issue of ethnic groups. It's not really an issue of like their religion. Religion got into it because these groups are majority Christian or majority Muslim, and that's how they got into it. But it was basically more about herder rights, herder and pastoral rights. It's a lot more complicated than they're being persecuted over there. Nigeria is actually majority Christian. Well, at least 50-50 actually. It's about 50-50 Christian. 50% Christian, 50% Muslim. It's about 50-50. And not only that, I think the current president of Nigeria, actually the current president of Nigeria is Muslim. The last one was Christian. But yeah, they go through that all the time. Nigeria has 5 major ethnic groups, and each one like rotates in power of who's going to be in power. You know what I mean? There's other ethnic groups in Nigeria, but there's 5 big ones, and they rotate who's in power. And I think 3 of them are Christian and 2 of them are Muslim. So this is something that sectarian issues is something that happens all the time. So when we say that Christians are being persecuted in Nigeria, it's not necessarily true. There are way more complex issues than that.
So okay, but they were prosecuted. I mean, you paid attention to the news that happened about 2-3 years ago, right?
No, Christians are not being prosecuted in Nigeria. Christians are not being prosecuted in Nigeria. There's sectarian violence between the Christians. Hold on. There is ethnic and sectarian violence between ethnic groups. That doesn't mean that Christians are being
religion in it.
Let me ask you a question. Who are the ethnic groups right now that's fighting in Nigeria?
Well, it's a complex issue, but
exactly. So hold on, wait, stop. It's a hold on. Listen. So the issue in Nigeria, are you gonna hold on, bro? Do you actually want to have the discussion, or are you just gonna keep galloping?
Well, I also wanted to give you examples.
You already said that Nigeria is a complicated issue. So the issue is not simply Christians being persecuted, because again, the majority of Nigeria is Christian.
Okay, but like I said, they were being prosecuted and they were being slaughtered not too long ago, actually 2 years ago or so. But
was the issue because of religion or because of ethnic tensions? Which one was it?
It's because of religion.
No,
Christianity
wrong. It was because of ethnic tensions.
All right, we can agree to disagree.
It's not agreeing to disagree on this one, man. The issue in Nigeria was an ethnic conflict, not a religious one. It's just so happens to be that the ethnic groups that are fighting are majority Muslim and majority Christian. But they already had that beef before Christianity even came to Nigeria. They already had beef. This has been an issue that they've had for hundreds of years, bro. This is what happens when we flatten, ethnic groups and flatten Africa. It's a lot more complicated than what we're saying. All right, so what's another country where Christians are being persecuted?
Have you ever looked into the Holodomor?
What is that?
So I believe that was in Ukraine. Okay. But anyways, a shit ton of Christians, okay, about 60 million or so were basically slaughtered from Bolsheviks and Jews and whatnot. And the Bible was basically outlawed. People couldn't read the Bible. And everyone was starved to death. Mothers were eating their own children.
You're talking about the USSR?
Yeah.
So that was terrible.
I might be a little fuzzy, but yeah, that
was bad. The USSR was outlawing religion. Yeah, that's bad.
Yes, but See, but I thought it was interesting because you brought up the Jews, right? You know that the Jews were like back in the Bolsheviks, and like the 83% of their leaderboard was all Jew, and they actually killed the royal Russian family. They killed them in the basement, and then that's how they took over the government and everything at that point.
Give me a second.
Are you just Googling it?
Yeah, because I think that's wrong. Yeah, this is propaganda. About 20 hold on, about 20 of the Bolshevik members were Jewish. So this is just basically just propaganda against Jewish people. But the second thing that I would say is that when it comes to Anastasia and her family, the Bolsheviks did kill the royal family, right? And like no one's denying that. But this was already within the midst of a conflict. They already like overthrew the family, like the communists or revolutionaries. They had already overthrew the family. It wasn't even Lenin. Lenin didn't say to kill the family. That wasn't his demand. He didn't say to kill the family. Those people just did it on their own, and that's what kicked off the. I think a few years after that, that's what kicked off the Russian Civil War. But yeah, when it comes to the Bolsheviks, like the leadership, yeah, it's exactly what I thought. Like they were not 80% of them being Jewish is no, that's not what happened.
I mean, hey, they were though. Like they had the banners with the Jewish star and everything though.
Yeah, that's propaganda.
But also, why is it that they destroyed like hundreds to thousands of like Christian chapels, Christian churches? Why are they killing like hundreds of Christian priests?
Well, because the USSR target, you know? Yeah, because at that time in Russia, most of them were Orthodox Christian, and the communists at that time, a lot of communists still believe it, but the communists at that time just wanted to outlaw any religion because basically the state would be the supreme power and not anybody else, which is a mistake in my opinion. But I don't think there's any communists today that believe that. But back then, that's what they believed. They believed that the state is a supreme power and nothing should be over that. So they just outlawed all religion, Christianity, Islam, Judaism. It was all outlawed. You know what I mean? So
but well, hold up now. Judaism was protected though.
No,
that was backed up from them. Yeah, yes, it was. They had the symbol of the star and everything. It was everywhere, bro. They literally had banners of it, embroidered banners. I mean, there's pictures if you want to Google it.
Yeah, no, like I know there was. I know. Hold on. Listen, I know there was Jewish Bolshevikism. That did happen. No one's denying that, right? What I am saying is that they were not the leaders of the Bolsheviks. Trotsky was a leader, but just because he was doesn't mean that the majority of the leaders were. Not only that, when it came to Judaism, you are correct on one thing. It wasn't formally outlawed, but it was persecuted because the USSR was state-sponsored atheism. So synagogues were closed. The religious schools that Jews go through, they were banned. The Jews were persecuted in the USSR, like the Christians were.
Yeah, but Christians had it way worse.
Yeah, because there's more of them.
I mean, there's massive graves of Christians. Like, why were the Christians punished so much worse than everyone else?
Well, it wasn't something that was going straight towards the Christians, but the majority of Russia at that time, obviously, was Christian or Orthodox Christian. So when people got sent to gulags, when people starved to death because of their terrible policies, yeah, folks, a lot of them are going to be Christian. It wasn't happening just because they were Christian. It happened because, they went against the state. But persecution against Christians in the USSR did happen. I'm not denying that.
Yeah, but why were they so much harder on the Christians? I mean, what is it about Christianity?
What happened to the Jews also in the USSR? It was state-sponsored atheism. So what the Christians went through, everyone else went through, bro. They closed their churches. Yeah. They closed synagogues. They closed mosques. They closed religious schools. Certain forms of education were prohibited. People faced priests, rabbis. They all faced harassment, all that. You know what I'm saying? Because it was state-sponsored atheism, which me as an atheist, I don't think we should do. I don't think we should do that. That's because that's crazy. But it wasn't something that we're going after the Christians specifically. Is that Christianity was the largest one?
Yeah, but now that was interesting. You said you're atheist, right?
Mhm.
And you said that we shouldn't do that. Now, do you believe that we have a right to religion, right? People should be able to believe in that.
Of course you do.
Okay. So you have sympathy and empathy for them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. But like, you're against like big government and such, like communism and socialism and whatnot. Because like,
I'm a socialist. I'm not against.
I
I'm
was
not against that. I'm a socialist.
okay, because I was gonna let you know, like Jews, they did invent that concept, that
No, they didn't.
economic concept.
No, they didn't.
They did, sir.
You saying that Marx was?
If you
I'm not sure if Marx was Marx Jewish.
You know, he backed him up.
I don't think Marx was
actually
Jewish.
a Satanist. He actually admired Satan.
Actually, yeah, Marx was a Jewish. Well, Marx was not. What Marx was born into a Jewish. He was Jewish descent, but he was not Jewish by faith, but he was Jewish by ethnic group. So Marx was Jewish. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct. Myself. Yeah, Marx was Jewish. But here's what I would say. Right, they didn't invent the concept of socialism. People were already doing it. Like over in Africa, right? There were kingdoms in Africa that were already doing a practice or a form of socialism that Marx simply wrote down. Yeah, I mean, he just simply formalized it. But people, there were groups in Africa already doing socialism.
Yeah, but did they get that from him? Did they learn it
No,
from
they
him?
didn't.
Or
No, they didn't. They were,
it was socialism.
They didn't. They didn't. Hold on. Listen. They did not get it from Marx because they were doing it before Marx wrote it down. Socialism is a very old idea.
Well,
predates Marx.
It's before this world, my friend.
Yeah, socialism predates Marx.
It predates this world because hear me out, okay? Let's look at Satan, right? Why was he casted out? Why was he cast out of heaven?
According to the Bible story, story, there was just a war in heaven, and he convinced 1/3 the angels to join him. That's really it. They don't say why.
But But what was the promises that he was giving to that 1/3? It was the idea that, you know, you could be a man of your own making. It was the idea that, oh, well, if everyone just listened to me, and if we did it my way, I could just give everyone everything they need, and then we'll all go back up to heaven.
That's not the Bible.
Right? No, that was from Satan's teachings. That was the war in heaven from the war of tongues. Okay.
Right. Hold on. Wait. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
That's not in the Bible. Where are you getting that from?
That's in the Bible teachings. That's in Christianity teachings. That Satan was preaching this kind of stuff.
Okay, hold on. Wait, hold on. Slow down for me. I'm asking you what you just said right there, how Satan was able to convince the 1/3 to join his side by preaching socialism. Where is that in the Bible? That's not in the Bible.
It doesn't say socialism specifically.
I know it doesn't say socialism specifically.
The context, it's the idea.
What I'm asking is, I know it doesn't say that specifically. What I'm asking is, where in the Bible does it say that Satan was able to convince 1/3 of the angels to join him by preaching this certain message? Where does it say that? Because all the Bible says is that there was a war in heaven and Satan got kicked out with the 1/3 of his angels. That's all it says. It doesn't say what actually happened to cause the war.
It was the motives for why God casted him out. It was during the war in heaven.
Right. Where in the Bible does it say that?
Oh, there was a war and then he was cast out.
Right.
No,
that's all the Bible says, though. I'm asking, where'd you get that from?
It was talked about for like a part of the motives and stuff for why God casted him out.
Okay. Listen what I'm saying. So all right, listen to my question. Where in the Bible does it doesn't say that anywhere in the Bible what you're saying. So I'm asking you, where are you getting that from?
Well, okay, but what Bible are we talking about? Because
any Bible, bro. Which where are you getting that from? Which book? Where are we getting that from?
Well, I tend to try to follow the older versions of the Bible, the ones that aren't really as watered down. So I don't really follow the King James. I try to stick with the older ones. So like Ethiopian or stuff like that.
You can read Geese?
What?
You can read Geese?
No, sir.
Okay.
So
the question is, where did you get that from? Is there a book, is there? I understand that there are certain things that are not in certain books that are not in the Bible, like the Book of Enoch. That one is not in our most of our modern Bibles. So or the book of like Judas, or the book of Thomas. So what I'm asking you is that all these books that are not part of the Protestant Bible, is that where you're getting that from? Is it in Enoch? Is it in Thomas? Where is it? Where is it?
It's during when they were talking about the war in heaven, man.
All right,
But
that's in
as much as-
Revelations,
hey, I
but
know
Revelations doesn't say what you're saying.
Yes, and look, as much as I wish that like I was a human computer and I could just like give you the perfect little verse that would like give you the proof and whatnot that you want for God. Look, dude, I'm not a human computer, okay? The Bible is so vast that you literally have to go and research that yourself. I mean, you're on a Google platform right now. I mean, just Google it up, But look, bro, like all I'm saying is that Satan was making all these promises. He was going to give everyone all these riches and everything, okay? And that's how he fooled everybody. That's how he got everyone to follow him, bro.
I understand I understand what you're saying. What I'm saying is that motivation, what you're saying that Satan did in heaven in order to get the angels, that is not in the Bible. It doesn't say that in Revelations. So I was just asking you where you got it from. That's all I'm asking. Where did you get it from?
I got it from Christian texts.
Okay, cool. So where did they get it from? What's their source of this? And not only that, how do we even know a Satan exists, the God exists, the heaven exists? How do we know any of this exists? Because Satan just simply sounds like a underground basement fairy, essentially.
Okay. How much do you get into like the theories and like the deep government, deep state type of stuff? Do you get into that stuff a lot?
No, not a lot. But because I really just want to know how do we prove any of these things exist? Like how do we prove that there's an evil basement fairy? How do we prove that there's a super wizard that sits on clouds? Why do angels even need riches? Like these are all gonna sound silly. You know what I mean? Why would Satan need to convince the angels of riches when angels live in a city of gold? Why do they need riches? Sounds kind of crazy.
Because he thought that he could give them a better way than what God could have given them. Okay.
All right,
look,
cool.
And I brought up, look, hold up. I brought up theories and like governments and stuff because that adds up to what I'm saying. Okay. If you ever look into Epstein, the Clintons, everyone, the Rothschilds, the Maxwells.
Yeah, these are all evil people, all evil
worship,
billionaires. I understand.
Yes, they all worship Baal, Moloch. They all worship Satan. Okay. They're a part of one big Luciferian cult. They literally praise to Satan. Okay.
I mean, that's not what the Epstein files. That's not what the Epstein files say. The Epstein files say they're Christian.
Epstein had a cross in his island. Okay, he would put little kids in front of that cross, and he would mock it. He would make them cry in front of that cross.
Yes, Epstein was an evil guy. We understand that Epstein was an evil guy. All right, so cold. Hold on, slow down for me. I understand that Epstein was an evil guy, and the Clintons are evil people. And the Trump is an evil person. We all understand that these billionaires, these elitists, are evil, horrible people. This doesn't really show me that a Satan or a God exists. Even if I give it to you that they're worshiping this character, doesn't mean that he's real.
Okay, but now why is it though that Satan is the one that they are worshiping? Why are they worshiping deities under Satan? They're linked to Satan. Why is that though?
I don't know. I mean, yeah, they could worship it because I don't know. They think the imagery is cool. Like, who gives a fuck? They're evil people, and they shouldn't be alive. What I'm trying to say is that them. What I'm trying to say is that them worshiping this character doesn't mean the character is true.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but they think he's real. They literally believe in the black magic, bro. So if Satan isn't real, why are they worshiping him? Why are they? Do you think it's a trend? Why do they hate Jesus Christ so much?
We don't even know if they do hate Jesus Christ. These are just PDF files. We don't know what the hell they're doing in their private time. Well, I'm just saying this for the sake of argument. I'll give it to you that maybe these people worship Baal or the evil basement fairy. Doesn't mean that the evil basement fairy is true or that Baal is true. Doesn't matter. These are PDF files that shouldn't be alive. Who cares? Who cares what they worship? Like, cause I don't worship anything, and I'm not doing what they do. So it's like that part. What they worship doesn't matter. I don't care if they were worshiping, the Lord of the Rings or Sauron or whatever. They can worship whatever they want. They can worship Luke Skywalker for all I care. They're evil people who need to be taken out. It doesn't make what they're worshiping true. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to say.
I know. It's just what I was getting at is if it's not real, okay, Satan's just some made up crazy goat god, and Jesus was, you know, just some random dude on the beach, right? Just trying to get rich off of like tithing and whatnot, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but why is it that they are so focused on Jesus Christ and Satan? You know, the rich people in this world, they worship Satan. They literally think he's real. Like, what if they're not real? Why are they worshiping it? Why? You know what I mean?
All right. So I got flagged for misinformation, which is why I had to go ahead and drop him. So because I got flagged for I got a violation warning, y'all. I got flagged for misinformation, so he had to be dropped. And not only that, I was getting tired. I was getting tired, y'all. I was really getting tired. So hey, Jamal for Jesus is here. Hey Jamal, you wanna come up? We never really have a conversation. If you want to come up, you can come up, Jamal. But I had to drop because unfortunately I got flagged for misinformation, y'all. So because I got flagged for misinformation, I got dropped. So anyway, over on a Deconstruction Junction, once again, I appreciate y'all. If y'all would like to talk to me, but you can't, come over to TikTok, numbers right here for you to join. Numbers right there for you to join. That's why you speak like how you do. What do you mean by that, Mario? I'm not sure what you mean by that, Mario. But anyway, if you're watching me over from the Deconstruction Junction and would like to talk to me, numbers right there. If you like to talk to me over on, if you're on the Volcy Thoughts channel, like to talk to me, numbers right there. 786-530-5941. Go ahead and come on up. Lawrence, you playing with me? Well, Lawrence, you were up here before. I'm not sure what happened. You want to come back up? Yeah, Lawrence, you could come back up if you want, because you were up here before. Not sure why you dropped or why that happened. But yeah, y'all, if y'all want to talk to me, 786-530-5941. Come on up. Hey, appreciate that. Thanks for joining the fan club.
From
Rob.
All right. Can I get your name, age, and what did you want to talk about?
Yeah, so my name is Rocco. I'm 25 years old.
Rocco, 25. What did you want to talk about?
So you said that the leftist policies are better for society?
Yes, leftist policies are better for society. Do you want to know what leftist policy I'm talking about?
Yeah, I just want to see your state of it, like your statement, what you're saying.
Yeah, the ones that I'm talking about are things such as universal health care, guaranteed housing, universal education, and universal daycare, parental leave, guaranteed vacation, a minimum wage that's tied to inflation of the area, and living costs of the area, things like that. Walkable cities, renewable energy, stuff like that.
Who pays for that all?
We do through our taxes.
Wait, the what? I can't hear you.
We do through our taxes. We would all pay for it.
Okay.
And that makes society better. Because even if your taxes are 45%, if you're still able to, like, if when you have a child, if you're able to spend 6 months with them, bonding with your child, and you still get guaranteed vacation days, and not only that, your job is only 15 minutes away from you, and not only that, you don't have to worry about healthcare or your kid getting sick because there's universal healthcare. You don't have to worry about choosing between going to the hospital for this pain in your stomach and not going to the hospital. And if you have guaranteed housing, in case you can't afford where you live anymore and you have to move, that you won't go homeless. But taxes are 45%. The trade-off is better, isn't it?
No.
Wait, hold on. Are you saying that even though your taxes are 45%, but you know that you're never going to go homeless, and you know that you're never going to have an issue where you can't pay your medical bills, and you know that whatever job you go to, you'll still have vacation days and time to spend with your kids, and not only that, it's only about 15 minutes away from you, about a 10-minute walk, which makes your car bills go down. And if we have renewable energy, which means that your electrical bills go down, none of that is worth it.
Okay, so I agree to a certain part of that, but it's just like
Rocco, how old are you?
25,
What year were you born?
2000.
You were born in 2000?
Mhm.
Yeah, you sound extremely young.
Okay, so
What's your pronouns, Rocco?
he, him.
Yeah, I don't believe you're 25, man. I definitely don't
I
believe you're
don't-
25. I definitely don't believe you're
Okay, you
25.
mental midget, shut the fuck up. Nobody gives a fuck.
Yeah. Anyway, Mario Brown, go ahead and come on up. We can go ahead and talk. Lawrence, you were here earlier, so you can go ahead and come on up, Lawrence, if you would like. I'm not sure what happens for it to make you drop, but Mario Brown over in my TikTok comments, go ahead and come on up. If you're watching over from my channel Volcy Thoughts, once again, I appreciate you. Go ahead and come on up. Hey, what's going on, Frequency? So, and if you're watching over from the Deconstruction Junction, definitely call that number if you'd like to speak with me. All right, phone numbers up here. I'm not sure what y'all talking about down there, but phone numbers up here: 786-530-5941. Go ahead and come on up and have that discussion. Because I'm just reading a little bit of the comments. I ain't gonna go through all of them. All right, and I appreciate you if you're watching me on Twitch. Appreciate you if you're watching me on Facebook. Appreciate you if you're watching me over on the YouTubes. You know, what's funny about Deconstruction Junction is I get a whole lot of people commenting like I'm gonna see it, and I always tell them, y'all could just call them the number because I'm not gonna see your comment. By the time I get to the screen to see your comments, it's gonna be like you're gonna be gone, or you're gonna say something else by that time. All right, y'all. So we're just gonna be here for a few more minutes. I'm gonna wait to see if anyone else calls in. We're gonna wait to see if anyone else calls in, or if we get another guest here over on TikTok. Y'all go ahead and tap that screen, please. Tap that screen. Tappity tap. We're gonna go ahead and tap in. We're gonna go ahead and tap in and tap that screen and see who else we can get. I'm probably gonna be live maybe for another 10 to 15 minutes. We gotta finish cleaning up the house. Man, I gotta clean up back here. I gotta clean up my computer area a little bit. But yeah, y'all, the phone line is back. So that's what we're gonna be doing. We're gonna be doing the phone line for a while now. Y'all keep tapping that screen, y'all. We're just gonna go ahead and wait for another guest. All right, and we got one. We got another guest coming up. All right. How do you say your name? Paratheus?
Yeah.
Give me 1 second, Paratheus.
Call from
Next time.
All right, 409. How's it going? Can I get your name, age, and what do you want to talk about?
Mac time. 45.
All right, Mac, 45. Did you want to talk about number 1 or number 2?
Well, I heard you was talking about your healthcare plan. I mean your plan 45% taxes.
Okay, hold on. Pause for me. You're gonna be on hold for a second. I got someone else on my TikTok. Okay, give me a second. All right, Paratheist, how's it going, Paratheist? How old are you, and what did you want to talk about?
I'm 21 and I want to talk about number 2.
21, talking about number 2. Okay, cool. Why should I believe in a God?
Because it will give you a better life.
Can I have a good life without believing in a God?
You can have a good life, but you cannot pass some hardships, particular type of hardship without God. it
Like
will
what?
help you pass. Like there are certain situations. Like for example, I was in a tough situation last year, and for me, if I wasn't believing in a God, I would probably wouldn't never have passed that hard time without believing in a God and having there's hope
Okay,
and God.
I got you. So I would say this. I'm happy that you're here. I'm pretty sure your family is as well. All right. So I'm never going to take that away from you. I'm happy that you went through that tough time and you were able to survive and that you're still here alive today. We're all happy about that. The question then becomes that hard time that you went to. You said that you could not have done it if you didn't believe in the God. Cool. That's that's your opinion. What I'm saying is that in general, can humans still survive hard times without believing in a God?
What do you mean by in general?
Like
What
I'm
is
not talking about
something you're generalizing?
So understand what I'm saying. I understand what you went through. It was super difficult, and without your faith, you would not have made it through. I'm not gonna take that away from you. That's all good and well. I'm saying, can people without faith still go through difficult times and still make it through?
I would say that it will be really hard, but they will probably pass that hard time. But it will be really, really hard for them to pass it.
Yeah,
but if they
it is.
believed in God, they believed in God, the pain will have something to hope for.
You're saying that
know,
you're saying that you can only hope if you have a God.
I'm not saying that, but
okay, cool. So
you can use the prayer and practices as a way to push yourself into
can you
doing
push yourself
what you
without
have to
prayer?
do. You can, but
All right.
it will be
So,
much harder.
But you can still push yourself.
Yeah, you can, but
okay. So how do you know that it's going to be harder without praying? How do you know that?
Because there was a time that I was not that much good in religion or in believing in a God, and then I remember that it was really hard for me to do a certain type of tasks, but last year that was one of the hardest year.
Gotcha. Okay, so Pertheus, hold on
yeah,
quick.
Yeah.
So you understand what's happening here and what you're doing, right? You're simply saying because you went through that, because it was hard for you, therefore it must be hard for anybody else. That's not necessarily true, is it?
Yeah, it is not necessarily true.
Exactly.
But it is,
okay, so
since you asked me why should I believe, I'm telling you what my opinion is, because your question is why should I believe in God?
Right. I understand
that's
that's
generally.
I got you.
You're not
so
talking
hold on,
about the objective.
Pertheus.
Yeah.
I understand that's what I asked her. I asked to ask you why should I believe in God, and you said in your opinion you can because my the things that I went through were very, very difficult, and I use faith to get through it. Therefore, if you don't have faith, it's going to be a lot more difficult. But that's only for you, though. For me, I've been through difficult times where I didn't have faith, and I was still able to push through it. So just because it was that wasn't how you got through it doesn't mean that I can't get through it that way. So when I asked you why should I believe in a God, and you said because in my opinion I went through this thing, I can just tell you the same thing. I went through something very, very hard last year. That's coming up a year. You know, people who know me personally know what I'm talking about. I went through something very, very hard, and I'm still getting through it. You see what I'm saying? So even if you have a faith, that doesn't make it any less harder, right? Like if a person who's atheist loses their dad and a person who's Christian loses their dad and they love their dad, that's still going to be difficult for either one of them, right? It doesn't make it easier for the Christian with their father being dead and an atheist and their father being dead, does it?
So our conversation will end here because you're saying I can go through hard times without God, and it is much easier for me to pass hard times without God, and then that's you.
That's not what I said.
You do you, man.
That's not what I said.
I mean,
I say it could be much easier.
But
no, it's not. No, it's not.
But you
no, it's
said,
not.
but
no, it's
but
not.
you said.
Okay. What I said is that we all go through hard times, and I understand for you, it got easier because of your faith. That's what I understand that, right? What I'm saying is that it's not necessarily true for everybody else, and I understand that's your opinion, but that doesn't give me a reason to believe in a God just because that was for you. That's what I said.
But it doesn't have to be necessarily true, right?
For me to believe something, yeah, we have to show that it's true.
No.
Why
Actually,
not?
no. We don't usually operate always on objective facts because, for example, even the objective facts are subjective in a sense. This is from Schopenhauer. Even when you say that something is objective, there is an way you can see that this observation is also a subjective observation because there's our explanation for objective morality or reality is very limited.
I'm kind of lost. What does it got to do with what we're talking about?
So you're saying everything have to be necessarily objective to accept it as a fact.
That's not what I said.
But that's
I said for us to believe something, we have to be convinced, right? How are you convinced of something? Are you convinced of something simply because someone told you it, or because you had a good reason to believe it?
I think I have good reason to believe that believing in God is a good thing.
Yeah, so good reasons are going to be largely subjective, right? Because a good reason for you may not be a good reason for me. Your good reason was because you went through a hard time and you believed that you would get through it, and your faith and everything like that took you through it, right? That's a good enough reason for you. But that good reason for you is not good enough for me. And I'm asking like what could be a good reason for like what do you think is a good reason? If you're saying that I went through this in my opinion that helped me out, it's not gonna be good enough for me. That's not gonna be good enough for me. For me, I will need more evidence than that. You don't
look, if you say this is not good reason for you, then the conversation will end here.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I can do.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and get to my caller now. Touch up. Be patient with me. I gotta talk to Mac. All right, Mac. How's it going, Mac? Thank you for being patient. We're gonna go ahead and talk to you now. Just your background is loud. Your background is loud. Mute your background, please.
I'm turning the TV down. Hold on.
There you go. Thank you so much. Mute your background. Okay, thank you. All right, Mac. So did you want to talk about number one, number two?
Well, I wanted you to expound on the tax plan for. I know you said 45%. I forgot all the details, but first let me tell you. You may or may not remember. I'm the next time it be in the comment section on YouTube. I'm a friend, so you may, if you want to cut this call short, I understand. But I just wanted to talk with you at least one time, man. I appreciate you, people like you, Bar Thinker. Y'all are inspiration to us Black atheists. We need more. We need more. We need to get the word out. Let people know that we've been deceived, and part of the more we believe in it, the more power we get these people to run roughshod over our life like how they've been doing.
Hell yeah. Hey, Base. Hey, I appreciate you. All right. So, can you just give me 1 second, Mac? Because I have someone that's trolling in my comments. Hey, yo, King, do me a favor, King. Can you please stop with the trolling in the comments? Like, stop crashing out. If you actually want to talk to me, come up. But I'm not gonna take all the preaching in my comments, bro. So stop just putting verses and actually a request up, and then we could talk. If you just keep dropping verses and preaching in the comments, I'm just gonna go ahead and mute you for the live. All right. If you want to talk to me, actually come up instead of just dropping verses. That doesn't do anything. All right, Mac. So you're asking about the thing I said about taxes. I was actually giving an example of because people always ask, how much can taxes go up? And of course it can go up 30-45%, but even if it does, 45% is a high amount of taxes. But what's the trade-off? You see what I'm saying? So I was just giving an example, but I think if we were actually the top 1%, if we raise their taxes back up to the 90%, we actually hire more IRS agents, because what's crazy is that people think that people hate the IRS. I get it, right? Hating the IRS. But the only reason why we hate them is because they go after us. But the IRS has said several times, if we had more agents, we would have more resources to go after the billionaires. The reason why they go after us is because they don't have the resources. You see what I'm saying? So if we actually hired more IRS agents, go after the billionaire cheating on their taxes more, then we will have a lot more resources, a lot more revenue in order to build a lot of these programs that we would like to see, right? And sure, if we do universal health care, taxes may go up a bit. We may go from the tax bracket of 15 to 20% to going up to like maybe 25, close to 30. But you know, Medicaid and but you know, paying for your healthcare for your job, that doesn't exist anymore, because now you can just get on universal healthcare. You feel what I'm saying? You basically save more in the long run than, you know, what we're doing now. Does all that make sense, Mac?
Okay, it makes sense. I'm just thinking, how you gonna implement it? How are you gonna get the votes? How are you going to push this past the status quo? Because I like a lot of the things you're saying. Like I know you was talking about reparations for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that I don't know how you can, you know,
pass the status quo. No, you're right.
Effective.
No, you're right. I think right now, at least with healthcare, with universal healthcare, we're already past that. People want that. People want to see that already. You know what I mean? When it comes to healthcare, people want to see that already. It comes to the other things like, maternal leave, walkable cities, investment into renewable energies. Those are a little tougher. But when it comes to healthcare, we could do that now. All you gotta do is open up Medicare to everybody. You know what I mean? Because right now, Medicare is only open if you're 65 years old. Just open up to everybody right now. If I could get on my Medicare right now, I'll get on it. You know what I mean? So that's basically what I would say. We can do that. We can do one of them at least immediately, which is Medicare. I also think that we can do.
I'm sorry, finish your thought.
Yeah, I was gonna say I also think that we can do universal education, basically, you know, paying for daycare, elementary and middle school, like daycare and pre-K. That should be part of like the public education system. You see what I'm saying? So we can do that now. If those are two things we can do immediately, do now. It's just, you know, the people who run the show, they're the ones who are not putting it in. But I think most Americans wouldn't mind seeing it.
Agree, but what I'm also looking at, and that's why I'm about to get the people right now who are not doing it, because it seems like to me, with this religious indoctrination where this country is, all they got to do is say transvestite, bathroom, devil, QAnon or something, and then it's like they brains cut off, and they automatically vote against their interests.
Yeah, exactly.
You know
That's exactly what
happens. Like, they got a couple of, it's like a religious cheap statement they say, like that's how the last one got elected. You just can say transvestite in the bathroom, and then everybody say, oh well,
everybody go crazy.
Yeah,
exactly. I got you.
I mean, how you plan this? I mean, because all these moving parts is, and I'm with you 100%. But I just don't see. It just seems like it just.
How do we get past it? No, it's an uphill battle. Yeah. I agree with you. It's a very uphill battle. So it's going to be difficult. We have to get past this, people shutting their brains off, right? Because what happened is that's the reason why I have conversations like this, to hit people at their hierarchy of needs. Because what Trump and them did, excuse me, what Trump and them did, what they did was that they made transgender people, they made immigrants the threat to your hierarchy of needs. They said, oh, why aren't your streets safe? It's because of the immigrants. Why is rent going up? It's because of the immigrants. Why are you afraid of your children getting harmed by bad people? It's the transgender people that's going to be doing it. They hit the hierarchy of needs. You know what I'm saying? They said that Americans are going through this thing, that thing, that thing. And instead of actually saying that we need to fix it through these type of social programs, let's blame it on the immigrants. Let's blame it on the LGBT. You see what I'm saying? So the reason why I have conversations like this is to show people that, hey, even if you put every single transgender person in jail, did your rent go down? No. You see what I'm saying? So it's like it makes them realize that they're not the problem. It's these things that are our issue, and we need to put in policies that will improve our lives. You see what I mean?
I understand, and that's why I take my hat off to you, man, because I know that you got other things going on in your life, and yet you still do this when you can. I appreciate you, man, and then you put some melanin in it too. So
Definitely,
appreciate you, homie.
definitely. Hey, I gotta move on to my next guest, but I do appreciate you. Come by anytime. I'm gonna hit a bar so we can go ahead and do the live tomorrow. Black people should not be Christian or Muslim. We got to do that. Run that back.
I still don't, I just want to let you know, let y'all know, think about them. I still watch out. I just haven't been able to comment as much because I'm getting old, man. Shit hurt my eyes.
I got you, man. Hey, but I appreciate you though. All right. We'll talk soon.
I'll bet.
Alrighty. All right, guys. Once again, I appreciate y'all being here. Touch Up, thank you so much for being patient with me while I talk to that person. We're gonna get to you next, but quick mod break, y'all. Quick mod break. I appreciate everybody being here. We have 7,000 likes over on the TikTok. Let's try to get to 10K before the end of this live. Touch Up is probably gonna be my last person. Let's get to 10K before the end of this live. And once again, y'all follow me. Subscribe to Volcy Thoughts over on YouTube, VOLCY Thoughts, and not the thought that you're thinking of. I'm talking about brain thoughts. All right, with y'all nasty asses. All right, so follow me over on that. Follow the Black Atheist Coalition. Subscribe to the Deconstruction Junction. Excuse me. Big shout out to the Deconstruction Junction. I appreciate y'all being there. Coming in June, the Black Atheist, Agnostic, and Skeptics and Humanist Cookout is going to go down in Central Florida. I already got the spot. I already got the food. Well, I haven't got the food yet. I'm not going to let it go rot. But I already got the spot. The food is coming. I'm going to have flag football, all that out there. If you are a Black Atheist, Agnostic, Skeptic, or Humanist, please go ahead and look at my bio. You can go ahead and come to the event, and we will appreciate having you. It's going down in June, or in real life event in Central Florida. Let's go ahead and move on with the conversation. All right, Touch Up. How's it going, Touch Up? Are you at least 18?
Good. What about you?
I'm all right. Are you at least 18? And what did you want to talk about?
Yeah, I'm 18. So I was wondering, can I tackle both at the same time and use your statements from one in an argument on the other, or no?
Yeah, you think you can? Sure.
Okay. So can you tell me why you believe in number one? Like, what are the benefits of leftist policies over right or other views, and the impacts? A 2-sentence summary.
Yeah. Did you hear what I said to the last caller?
No, sorry, I was gone.
Okay. Yeah. So leftist policies that I'm talking about are things that uplift human well-being, are social policies that will uplift our well-being, such as universal healthcare, such as walkable cities, such as investment into renewable energies, such as things like parental leave, paid parental leave, things like that. These things make us not only physically and I think mentally healthy, not only physically healthier, but also mentally healthier. And because of that, we'll be more productive, and our economy operates better in that fashion. I would say that we need to even need to find a way to move past capitalism, because right now we've seen the results of it, right? So we need to find a way to move towards a more workable system. And I believe that social democracy is better. Democratic socialism is better. And this socialism in of itself, in my opinion, would be better. At least market socialism will be a lot better than what we have today.
Okay. So basically you're saying it'll improve lives, save lives too, right?
Yep.
Okay. So on to number two. So I want to dive into objective morality, right? So if you're saying that there is no God, or you believe in no God, then objective morality doesn't exist. So what you're doing, saving people, of course, I know that saving people is right, but from your standpoint, it shouldn't matter if there is no objective morality, right?
No, it'll still matter because I have empathy.
Empathy, but if you save people, but we're all just space dust. So, but okay, so if you said if I'm a right and I want I want to like create policies that actually actively harm people, would you say I'm a worse person than you?
Yes.
But you could say it's just a different point of view because if it doesn't matter, if there's no entity governing what is right or wrong, I'm just different, not worse.
No, you're worse because you're harming people.
But why is harming people bad?
It's something that we don't prefer to do. It has negative consequences.
But what is negative consequences?
Negative consequences are things that are either that are damaging, you know what I mean, like either physically, psychologically, emotionally. That type of damage are things that we don't prefer because it's not conducive to our survival. So we don't like we don't want to do it.
But that's like what I'm saying. If you go down to the core of it, like if there is no God, we don't need to survive. We're just space tested. We're just an accident.
Well, hold on. Why would
we have no more value than a rock?
Touch up. Hold on. Why would we need God for us to survive? Why would we need that?
No, I'm not saying we need God to survive. I'm saying if we don't have God, there's no point of our survival. We're just an accident.
So
that means we're meaningless.
Yes. So we make our own meaning.
But
the universe doesn't care about us.
But there is no objective meaning. You have a different point of view. I have a different point of view.
Yes.
I say killing people is good. You're saying killing people is bad, right?
Yes.
So, but you just said that I am a bad person.
Yes, because you're harming someone. You're ending their existence forever.
But what I'm saying is that I'm not a bad person. I'm a different person from you.
No, you're a bad person because you cause harm. You killing that person cause emotional harm to their family, cause them trauma. You ended that person's existence. All the experience, who they are, whoever will be, is gone forever. That's a violation in my view. That might be the violation in your view, but you could just have ASPD. But most people, humanity is born with something called empathy, and we don't like to see that happen. Yeah, not only that, even if the God that you believe in does exist, that will still make moral subjective because it will depend on him or it or she.
But if he's all powerful, then it's objective because whatever he says goes.
That's literally subjective.
But if he created the laws of the universe, then he can say, if he's all powerful, then he can literally say, this is the objective reality, and it will be true.
Yeah, that's subjective because it depends on him.
But we're assuming this guy's all powerful, right? But if his subjective opinion becomes objective,
it doesn't become objective. It's still subjective because it depends on him. Objective is mind independent. If it all depends on whatever that God says, that's automatically subjective.
Okay. Well, I want to return to the other point. So if you think that harming people is bad, and because we have empathy, but that's just because we have neurons that connect to each other, and but just because you're saying that since we have like a random chance of a brain forming in this universe, we have more value than a rock?
Yes, because we have sentience. Rocks don't have that.
But why does sentience matter?
Because we make it matter.
That's what I'm saying. So you're saying that our morality is based off of what we choose, right? So
correct.
Since you're basing off morality off of what humans make of it, then you can't say that I'm objectively bad because that's your opinion.
Yes, it would be my opinion.
But I don't think we can. I don't think we cannot say that that's objectively bad. We can say that's objectively bad because again, it harms people. Humans have empathy.
But what I'm saying is, why does it matter if it's empathy if it's just a random occurrence that we existed in this world?
Human empathy does matter. Unless you're talking about a psychopath that doesn't have any empathy.
But why does human empathy matter if we're a random chance?
Why does God matter?
Right. So the reason why human empathy matters is because we both need to survive in this society, right? We're here now, we're in a society, and we have to survive. So because we're in this society, we have to survive. Exactly. Human empathy is going to be one of those directions that we take in order to survive with each other. That's why that matters.
if there's no God, then survival doesn't matter as well. Because
No, it doesn't.
So-
That's not true.
so-
You don't need. Our survival is not dependent upon a God.
Oh God, exactly.
Our gods, because if that is true, then then survival would look different. Would have a different meaning depending on the society that you live in, and and the rules, and the rules of religion that it follows. Secular societies still care about survival, even if they're not religious.
I'm not claiming that survival is dependent on God. I'm saying that the meaning of survival, us surviving in this universe, is dependent on God. I'm saying we could survive without God, but
I don't think that is not true.
I'm really questioning this. Like, why is that the case? Why is our survival in this universe dependent on a God that we don't even know exists?
Okay, if there is no God, I'm saying since we're just a random chance of atoms coming together, we have no more value than a rock. We're just atoms that.
No, we do have more value.
But that's not true though, because we are human beings, and human beings are innately valuable because we are the predominant species on this planet. So that is not true.
Yeah,
okay, but just okay, yeah.
What I was gonna say is that you say that we are no more valuable than a rock. Sure, you can say that we're no more valuable than a rock in your opinion, but at the end of the day, is it true or not that human beings are a social species and we need to survive with each other? Is that true?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so if we're a social species that need to survive with each other, then how do we do that if we don't view ourselves more valuable than rocks?
Also, I would argue that religion, and particularly the Abrahamic religion, actually are a contradiction to human survival. Because isn't your God the same one who sent the flood to rid the world of humans? How are you saying that God is dependent? Our survival is depending on that God.
That's not my argument. I never said that our survival is dependent on a God. As I said, we can survive without a God, but I'm saying the meaning of our survival.
But why is the meaning of survival dependent upon a God? Like I said, but not just a God, Volcy, a God who himself said that he regretted creating humans and therefore sent a flood to rid the world of humans, and then created the covenant, the rainbow, and literally because he said he regretted that decision. So what are you talking about? Why does that God define the meaning of our survival?
Well, I never said I subscribe to it. Like,
I'm trying to understand here. I'm trying to understand something here. Okay, so touch up. Okay, so which God are you even talking about? Let's do that first.
For this argument, I don't need to subscribe to a particular religion. I'm just saying an all-powerful, all-benevolent person who.
So an all-powerful, all-benevolent thingamabobber that created us. It all depends on I guess Bob. I guess we'll call it Bob. All right. Okay. So we all survival depends on Bob. Is that what you're saying?
No. We can. Okay. In this universe, I'm saying that we could survive without God, even if we don't believe in it, even if he doesn't exist. But I'm saying the point of our existence is not there. It's non-existent if there is no God.
Yeah, sure. So what?
So I'm saying that if you say that when you see someone kill someone else on the street, if you don't believe in a God, you can't say that man is a bad person.
Yeah,
yes, you can. And I just did. Now what?
We just did. Like again, we're a social species and we're trying to survive with each other. Ending the lifetime of someone who didn't do anything to you, ending their lifetime for no discernible reason whatsoever. That's not how we survive. That's not conductive to our survival. That's not how we would operate with each other.
But just because having you're setting your own objective moralities is beneficial for the human survival, I'm taking a completely different route. I'm saying that it doesn't matter if we have morals to survive when our survival is meaningless itself. We're just atoms in the universe.
Yeah, but so what, bro? What I'm saying is that,
So I'm
yeah, we
saying
have no.
we're
What I'm
meaningless.
saying is,
We have
yes. Objectively, the universe doesn't care about us. If there's no God, the universe doesn't care about us. We have no objective meaning. But even if your God were to exist, that would still be a subjective meaning because it depends on that God. That's number one. But number two, even if there is no objective meaning to us, so what? We can still make our own. The meaning of my life is to be a counselor. It's for me to help out my community. You know what I mean? Because there are a lot of black teenagers that need help, especially black male teenagers that need help. You know what I mean? To unload themselves from everything that they go through, just being black in America. You know what I'm saying? And being expected to be a man when you're 16, which is kind of crazy. We do that a lot in our community. So that's the meaning of my life. I want to help those kids out. Boom, I just made my own meaning without believing in a God. You're saying that because I don't believe in a God, that means that can't happen? I don't see what you're saying.
I agree. You can create your own meaning, but there won't be any real meaning.
What? That makes no sense whatsoever.
Okay.
That makes no sense whatsoever.
That makes zero sense because because there is meaning, because he defines his meaning. He's an individual, sovereign human being, and he defines the meaning of his life as an individual.
If I'm a doctor and I heal this person, I moved atoms around, and that's I'm creating my own meaning. I'm a doctor. I have my own meaning. I have a job, and I help people. But in the grand scheme of the universe, all I did is move atoms around. I didn't do anything, but I created meaning for myself.
What?
But you saved someone's life.
What?
That person
Right,
now.
you saved someone's life. That is not just moving atoms around. You saved someone's son or daughter. That is not just move. That is not meaningless. Especially if we're talking about our species. So again, you make no sense. And what it just sounds like is you define the meaning of life by theism, and we do not. And because we do not define our life by theism, you're saying that we cannot objectively say that harmful things are bad when we do not need theism to do that. Especially considering a lot of the things that theist says are wrong or incorrect are objectively bad to begin with. For example, in Christianity, they literally have the Catholic Church has insurance to protect creditors.
As I said, I'm not for this argument. I'm not subscribing to any religion.
I didn't say you were. I'm making an example of theism that that is objectively harmful.
But what does that have to do with the argument?
The argument that you're making that theism defines life or the meaning of life is BS. That is what we're naming.
Well, I agree. Christians is a bad religion, but I never said I'm a Christian.
All right. So what are we talking about here, bro?
I didn't say you were a Christian. I used it as an example.
Whether you're a Christian or not, touch up. The fact of the matter is, we can have meaning that is not the universe or anything like that, and we still create our own meaning. You're saying that because we create our own meaning, it's not real. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Why? Yeah, exactly. All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on, and we appreciate y'all. So there's someone that called. Let me go ahead and call them back. Let's see if they can they'll answer. How's it going, okay? All right, we'll see.
I'm great. How are you?
Hello.
Hey, how's it going? You just called into my live. How's it going? Can I get your age, name, and what did you want to talk about?
Hey there, man. It's my birthday today, so I'm actually 29. My name is Trey Rapp. I'm from Florida.
Cool.
No other questions?
Hey, tell them, KK, your co-host says happy birthday.
My co-host said happy birthday. All right. So, you said, what did you want to talk about?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
Which number did you want to talk about? Number 1 or number 2?
Man, I kind of agree with number 1, so I guess number 2.
All right, cool. So, number 2, yeah. Why do you think I should believe in a God?
It's not even really like why you should. I just think that it's more an objective thing, and I think it's more how you define God as a thing. Like, I don't believe in God in like a big guy in the sky making stuff kind of way. I think of it more in an esoteric way, where like if you look at like Adam and Eve in the Bible, like Adam is literally the word Adam, like that last guy was talking about, like we're all atoms.
Mm-hmm.
He just isn't past that first part where it's like now there's Eve, now there's other shit going on, now we're naming things, you know what I mean? It's like it's the advancement of the human consciousness in a book in a spiritual way. Not necessarily a history book.
Okay, so
I think that like
I'm kind of having a difficulty on what you're trying to say here. So we know that
God's more the consciousness and like life itself, like the trees moving and the the wind and just things of that nature. It's not like a one big dude in the sky or some shit like that.
Okay, so you're
it's
more
like the fire within us.
You're more of
the electricity in our nerves and things like that. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. So you're more on the tip of Spinoza's God.
Sure. Yeah, I would go with that. I think that like talking about Moses specifically, like I think that is more like I don't think that he literally climbed a mountain and literally talked to a bush that was on fire. I think that it's symbolism for the pineal gland inside of the human brain, that like when you activate that through meditation and through introspection, you speak to your higher self within you and you receive that kind of guidance
Okay,
from
cool.
like your consciousness.
All right, cool. So
and that he was able to like lead
okay,
people through
hold
that,
on,
like,
hold
you
on.
know,
All
kind of
right,
deal.
gotcha.
Sorry.
All right, so yeah, this is okay, cool. I think I understand what you mean, but I don't have really a lot of issues with that, right?
I wouldn't even say that. Yeah, exactly. I don't either. I used to be a self-prescribed atheist for years since I was a teenager, and kind of looking into it and looking into things like the Nag Hammadi library and like Gnosticism and things like that. I kind of find a different understanding and respect for not necessarily organized religion and like fundamentalism, but for spirituality and like that kind of different side of the world in which we live in. Buddhism, Hinduism. Reading like the Bhagavad Gita is was very interesting to me. So I just think that kind of looking at it from a different way, like kind of opened me up to that. I'm not in any way a religious person. I don't go to a church or anything like that. I think that Jesus
Okay,
was talking about not doing kind of
so all this kind of sounds like Spinoza's God, right? But I wouldn't put any I won't put any labels onto it. Like nature and physics does what it does. I'm not sure why we need to put the label of God on it at all, because if
fair enough. Yeah, no, I mean, like, yeah, it can also be called just like metaphysics. I feel you on that.
Yeah, exactly. But all right, if that was it, I'm gonna go ahead and then move on to the next call. I do appreciate you.
No worries, man. I'm glad that like we could come to an understanding, bro. Have a great one. Thank you for taking my call, and awesome. Keep on doing what you're doing. Power.
All right. How long I've been on? Okay, I've been on for 2 hours. I think I'm gonna get out of here in a bit. How's it been going, Kay?
Ciao. It's been going.
Yeah.
I'm like, because I'm gonna be moving soon, so it's just kind of just been because I found another woman to be a roommate, which is great.
Okay, awesome.
I'm like, at least until me and my sister move in together in New York at the end of the year.
Yeah. Cool. But yeah, that's pretty much been it for me. I was supposed to debate somebody yesterday, but they ran.
I'm like, who's running from your argument?
Yeah, I was supposed.
I know it's not Volcy.
Yeah. I just dropped him because his time was up anyway, so I just dropped him. But yeah, but yesterday I was supposed to debate that guy yesterday, Bundy, the one that came up last time. Yeah, I was supposed to debate him yesterday on America Was Never
Which
Great.
Which one is Bundy again?
Remember the one that didn't understand what a scientific theory is and kept on screaming that we didn't come
Oh my God!
That
and was
guy.
arguing with my sister too.
Yes.
Mind you, my sister works in healthcare. Don't you think she would have to have understanding of how science and scientific theory works? And she's a literal not only a registered nurse, but the head of nursing, or where she works at. But she, like, my sister literally works in healthcare. Why would she not know that?
Yeah, exactly. Why would she not know these things, right? So we were supposed to debate yesterday. Me, him, and Coco are in a group chat, right? We're texting everything like that. You know, I was up there right on time. I said, "Hey, where is he?" We're like, "We don't know yet." I said, "All right, cool, let's text him." So I said, "Yo,
So
bro,
he
waiting for
ran
you."
from the debate.
Yeah, we used to say, "Yo, bro, waiting for you." He said, "I'll be home in 5 minutes." We said, "All right, 5 minutes." We was there for an hour, but he never came up.
I'm like, so why? I'm like, so why am I not in this group chat? Is the question.
No, it's
I feel.
Yeah, it's a chat that he does whenever whenever Coco is setting up a debate between people. He gets their numbers, he puts them in a chat, make sure that we're all updated and everything like that. So
Because he literally did not know anything of what he was talking about,
you
and
know
we're
what those
just,
about, yeah.
mind you, he's up here with two educated Black women, and you, who's going to come. First of all, in psychology, because you're going to school for, I was sure that you would have to have some understanding of a scientific theory as well. I'm sure you would have to, because psychology is a form of science.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
the science of the mind.
Yeah, it's a soft science. That's all it is, you know. So it's like it's crazy.
Maybe a soft science, but it's a
science of the mind. Yeah, exactly. So it's crazy, right? Because he texted us afterwards talking about he got taken. I don't know what the hell happened with him, but I told him like, yo, bro, I'm not gonna move. I said I'm not gonna move my shit around just because you wasn't prepared, bro. You told us 5 minutes and then you had
not to mention. And the fact is, it wasn't that he wasn't unprepared. He literally ran. Like, let's be for real.
He ran. Yeah.
You had the opportunity to debate, and you did not debate, meaning that you ran from the debate because you knew you were going to get mollywopped. You know you did. Just like my sister and I did with you. And I know his misogynistic ass because he called me a bitch.
Yeah.
I wouldn't let him.
Exactly. And what's crazy about it, I was prepared. You know, I mean, I had a good 8-minute introduction. I can tell you right now, I know even if we do this again.
I know you came with the pair. You came with the smoke.
I came with it. Hold on real quick.
Call from
David.
All right, David, how's it going? Can I get your age and what did you want to talk about?
Yeah, 23. I disagree with your TikTok prompt.
Which one?
Better for society is very subjective.
All right, cool. Yeah. So, did you want to know which policies that I'm talking about?
No, just making the statement in of itself is very subjective. You can't make the objective claim here.
Would you like to know what policies I'm talking about?
Do you understand what I'm saying, or do I need to dumb this down again?
All right, if we're gonna have a conversation, he's on to me. If we're gonna have a conversation,
I know, but he sounded really rude.
Yeah, I
you
got
need
you.
to check his tone.
Yeah. So David, do me a favor, all right? You gotta check your tone. If we're gonna have a conversation, don't do the snarky shit, all right?
Wait, but your statement in of itself, leftist policies are better for society. Is that subjective or objective?
Bro, we're not in a philosophy class. Would you like to know the policies that I'm talking about? Yes or no?
Wait, if you make a claim, you have to.
All right, let's go ahead and move on, because I'm not doing all that. Let me call this person back. I'm not doing all that.
Because he tried it. Because first of all, he came really aggressive and rude. Like he really tried it. And passive aggressive is still aggressive.
Hey, how's it going? 862. How's it going? Are you at least 18? And what did you want to talk to me about?
Yeah, so I was.
Oh yeah, that's a kid. All right. We're gonna move on to Happy. Happy, how's it going? Are you at least 18? And which one did you disagree with or want to talk about?
Yeah, I was the one that was just on the phone that you wanted to hang up on.
Okay, yeah. So did you want to know which policy I'm talking about or not?
I just want to know first, is this objective or subjective?
All right. We're gonna go ahead and move on because I'm gonna see why people.
Because
I don't know why people don't get this. This is easy, y'all.
Because this is not a philosophy.
It's not a philosophy class. That's not what we're doing.
It's not a philosophy class. It's not a philosophy class. He gave you a direction. He said either you are going to come and debate the topic at hand, or you are going to leave. No, you want to debate. No, that's not the debate. You can either address the prompt as it is, or you can leave.
Yeah, just address the prompt. If you want to know,
I'm like. Also, I don't know. I'm like, in the words of my sister, honey, I don't know. Would you people from the Caucasus Snookers keep on coming into these spaces, thinking that you're going to dominate the conversation?
Yeah,
that's not how that works.
That's not how that works. We're not doing that here.
With the conversation.
All right, so let me just do this. All right, come back up. Because I don't think he understands what we're doing here. Go come back up. All right, so we're gonna teach you some. All right, so Happy, this is what we're doing, okay? All right, we're not having a philosophical back and forth. We're not going to be. Hold on, shut up. We're not going to be talking about P not P. That's not what we're doing here. All right, you can probably do that for number 2, but number 1, that's not what we're doing. Leftist policies are. Hold on, be quiet for a second. Leftist and from the position I come from, leftist policies are better for society, and I have an idea of the policies that I'm talking about and how they would be better. Okay, that's what we're talking about. We're not going to be going through the epistemic ontology, whatever. That's not what we're doing here. So don't ask me. Hold on. So ask me, is this objective or subjective? Don't fucking matter. Let's talk about what the prompt is. I believe that there are certain policies that are better for society. In America, we define those as leftist policies. Do you want to know what those are, or do you want to do philosophical meandering? What do you want to do?
Wait, hold up a second. You believe that's still indexed to your personal? You could just agree saying that. Yeah.
Happy. Stop that, bro.
Address it as it is.
Address it as it is, bro. Just address it as it is. Do you want to know the policies I'm talking about? Yes or no?
Yeah, let's go with the policies.
Okay. The policies I'm talking about are things such as universal health care, renewable energy, investment into our infrastructure so we can have more public transportation like trains and buses. I'm also talking about things like parental leave, because parental leave it will help us, like at least new parents, spend more time with their children, etc. What these policies would do would decrease stress. I think they will also decrease actual childcare, which is one of the big things we have in our society now. The expenses of childcare. If we had universal education starting from pre-K, that handles a lot of our childcare. If we had universal health care, that handles a lot of the issues that we have later on in life, a lot of health issues, because people would do more preventative care. Makes us healthier, makes us more productive, decreases childcare, encourages families. These are the policies that I'm talking about. Why do you think?
Let's go with universal
do you think those would be bad
first? Yeah, I have a problem with universal healthcare. Let's talk about it. What obligation do I have to make sure that you have healthcare?
You don't have an obligation to make sure I have
okay,
healthcare.
Cool. When it comes to universal healthcare, everyone pays into this. So will there be a way for people to opt out, or is this a mandatory?
No, it's universal.
Wait, you have to pay into universal healthcare. Do you know how it works?
I know how universal healthcare works. Yeah. So everybody, Happy, stop. Again, I'm gonna tell you one more time. You're not gonna come here and dominate a conversation. This is not your stage. Stop with the snarky shit, bro. I'm not about that. I can actually have a decent conversation with someone who's my opponent. But if you're gonna do that, don't come up here assuming that you're just gonna go and dominate conversation and treat me like a kid. All right? That's not what we're doing here. We're two grown men. Shut up. We are two grown men having a conversation. You need to chill out with that shit.
Yeah, what obligation do I have to make sure that you have healthcare?
It's not about that.
Okay, I'm gonna just drop him because I don't like. Yeah, I'm gonna be a bit. You know what, Volcy? Today I'm gonna be a bitch. Absolutely, I'm just gonna have to be a bitch. Yeah.
All right. So to answer his question,
and just for the snarky shit, I'm also gonna mute you just for 5 minutes. And I'm like, and in 5 minutes, if you once you learn how to correct your behavior and your speech, and learn how to talk to somebody, then you can come up here.
And I'll even answer. I'll answer his question because this is one time thing.
But since he wants to talk to the host like a kid, I'm gonna put him in timeout like one.
So just to answer his question, it's actually not about that. It's not about obligations. At the end of the day, we could actually say that we do have an obligation because we live in a society together. So it's best to make sure that everyone is taken care of as much as we can. That'll be number one. But the second thing that I would say is that it's not about it being mandatory or obligating or anything like that. It's not what it's about. It's simply about this is the best way for us to have for us to run our healthcare. And we've seen it work in other societies. We're the richest society in the world and don't have it. It's not really about that. It's beneficial for us. It's beneficial economically. Every single industrialized nation has it. Even some unindustrialized nations have it. You know what I mean? So it's crazy that we can't. You know what I mean? It's not about you're obligated to do something. That's not how universal healthcare works.
Call from.
All right. You're probably gonna be my last caller, 585. Can I get your name, and age, and what do you want to talk about?
My name is Maddie B. Getting Money. I was the one in the comments. It has nothing to do with the guy calling me a coward to call in. I'm calling in because I want to know why I was banned off of your channel.
Oh, I don't know. Did you say something racist?
Nothing at all. I'm just in there talking normal, just talking back and forth. I didn't say one crazy thing.
I don't remember blocking him.
In your comments at all.
I think he's over on the YouTube. Well, I gotta trust my mods. So whatever you were arguing about, I'm not sure why you got deleted. But if you said something racist, if you said something racist or hold on, Maddie, calm down. If you said something, bro, you're not, because you're talking while I'm talking. You're talking while I'm talking. You are talking while I'm talking. You are talking while I'm talking.
I can already see why he got banned.
Okay, so if you're talking while I'm talking, I'm gonna tell you to calm down. So, Maddie,
that has nothing to do with
if you're talking while I'm talking, I'm going to tell you to calm down.
Go ahead.
If you're talking while I'm talking, I'm going to tell you to calm down. Don't tell me to go ahead. I know when to go ahead. This is probably why you got banned.
No,
so, this is probably why you got banned. This is probably why you got banned. Because you can't chill out. You can't chill out.
Go ahead.
The way I talk to people is that you do not demand me what I do on my own platform. So be quiet for a second while I finish. Can you do that? Can you do that? Can you do that? You're the one calling me. You're on my platform. So can you chill out? Can you? Okay. So if you're gonna be quiet, you don't talk. All right. So my question was, Maddie, did you want to talk about number one or you want to talk about number two? I don't know why you got banned. It doesn't matter to me.
Either one.
Want to talk about number one, number two? Okay. Leftist policies are better for society. The policies that I'm talking about, I'm not sure if you heard. Things like universal health care, things like renewable energy and much investment into that. Things like guaranteed housing, parental leave, etc. All these things I think decrease stress both physically and mentally, and it causes us to become more productive in our society. Why do you think those would be bad things for society?
All right, let's first talk about universal health care. Yes, I think universal health care would be nice. Of course, we all want to be able to go to the doctor and not pay, but you got to look at where this has happened in the world already. Go to Canada and see what their health care is like, and you tell me that you want that.
Yes.
When medical assisted suicide is 1 out of every 5 deaths.
Yeah. So when it comes to medically assisted suicide, it's because Canada believes in the right to die. So they have that. So they have that, but that doesn't mean that just because they have medically assisted suicide, therefore their entire healthcare system is screwed up. And my second question would be, why is Canada the example and not Switzerland?
Canada's the example because they're kind of sized almost as big as we are. Switzerland's a tiny little country.
How about France?
You got to look at somebody with a large population.
Maddie, how about France?
How about France? Have you been to France?
Yeah. Actually, no, but my father has.
How their healthcare works?
Their healthcare, they have universal healthcare.
Right. And have you seen it in person?
I haven't seen it in person, but I have friends who live in France.
Then.
Hold on, Maddie. Maddie. This is exactly why I say calm down. If I'm talking, you don't talk. So the reason when I'm talking, you don't talk. So when I'm talking, you don't talk. So when it comes to Canada, right? Like
you wouldn't talk to me like
I don't talk. You don't talk when I talk. You don't talk when I talk. You don't talk when I talk, little boy. Little man. Don't talk when I talk, please.
Little man.
Little man. Can you talk to what? Can you please learn how to raise your hand, little man, when we're talking? Because now I gotta teach. Now I gotta treat you. Now I gotta treat you like how teachers treat kindergartners, because you don't know how to control your damn mouth.
No, you don't know how to talk.
So you don't know how to control your damn mouth. You see, I was already talking. I was already explaining things. You asked me a question. Have I ever been to France and seen it? I said, no, not me personally. But I have family that lives in France, and they love their healthcare system. I also have family that lives in Canada, They're fine with their healthcare system. Canadian healthcare system does have problems. I'm not gonna say it doesn't have problems. It does have problems. They have longer wait times than us. So they have longer wait times than us, right? That's one of the problems that they have. But over in France, they have shorter wait times. They still have professionalism. Their doctors are still highly paid, and they have one of the best healthcare systems in the world, and it's universal. And not only that, Canada has. I mean, that's Canada. France has a larger population than Canada. France is about 70 million people. Canada has about 35 million people. And not only that, France is just as diverse as we are. So diversity, population. Okay, let's go to China. China has 500 million people. Actually, I think they have 1 billion people. I'm sorry. China has a billion people. They have universal healthcare.
Yeah, and their healthcare is just great, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
How come when I literally watch, you ever freaking Furious Pete? Have you ever watched Furious Pete on YouTube?
I have no idea what that is, but I don't go off of YouTube as any proof of anything.
No, listen, this guy had cancer. Every time he went in to get his cancer treatment, he had to wait in the waiting room for 4 hours before they brought him in. He had an appointment and everything. When I had cancer, when I went in, I never waited in that waiting room more than 10 minutes because they know I felt like shit, and they knew that I didn't want to be out there around all them strangers.
All right, what country you talking about?
I'm talking about Canada.
Okay.
I'm talking about why, when you go into a normal doctor's appointment, why do you wait in the waiting room for 4 hours like you're in the emergency room?
Right. So, Maddie, I understand. Maddie,
why are you talking over me? I'm still talking.
So I understand because we already been through this. Because we already been through this. Because we already been through this, Maddie. We already been through this, Maddie. We already been through this, Maddie. We've been through this, Maddie. We already 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 been through this. I already said, you piece of shit, that Canada has issues. I already said that. I already said Canada has issues.
You're talking over me.
I know I'm talking over you. I know I'm talking over you because you're talking about shit that I already talked about shit. You're already saying shit that I already conceded on that point, that Canadian healthcare does have issues. I even said they have longer wait times. I said they have issues, Maddie. But the issue is, Maddie, is that Canada is not the only example of universal healthcare. France doesn't have these problems, and they have a bigger population than Canada. So why can't we do what they're doing in France? Why is Canada your example and not France?
Because Canada's right next to us.
So what?
I'm gonna go by what
I'm like, tell him. I'm like, your mom pointed out that he pointed out population size.
Hold on, Kay. So, Maddie, here's the problem, Maddie. You pointed out population size. You pointed out what you didn't say diversity, but you only pointed out population size, right? You said they have a comparable population to us. I agree. Their healthcare system also has issues. I agree. However, France also has a population that's similar to ours. Is just as diverse, and they have 65 million people, more than Canada. They don't have the issues that Canada has. So the question would then become, why is one the example but not the other? Of course, Canada has problems, but that's not the only. Hold on. Of course, Canada has problems, but they're not the only example of universal healthcare. There are other examples.
Okay, like I said, I've studied and seen Canada's healthcare firsthand. I've never studied France's healthcare. Second, you have never studied France's healthcare. You've heard it from secondhand sources that are biased, from family members that live there, that are probably well off and probably don't worry about fucking bills.
They're not.
So the only people that worry about healthcare and bills are people who aren't well off and people who got to pay 50% of their paycheck to pay for healthcare.
That's wrong. That's so wrong. That's not how that works over there.
People worry about healthcare.
No, that's not what I said. That's not what I said. So when we're talking about Canada, right? You said that you studied the system, so you lived up in Canada.
I've spent some time up there and I've seen firsthand how it works.
Okay, yeah. Again, I understand that, right? But do you know that there are Canadians who come here and say that our system is shitty too?
Very few. There's a lot of Canadians that come here for healthcare because they can't get it in their own homeland.
They can't.
There's a lot of
like
people
what?
who come
like
here
what?
because they have
Like what?
they have fatal diseases that they
Mhm.
can't get treated in time up in Canada, so they come
Yeah.
here and get treated.
Yeah, so
I
that
know
does happen. Yeah.
I know
So Maddie,
Canadians personally.
so Maddie,
I
I
live
got
right
you.
next to the border
Maddie, I
of
got you.
Canada.
Maddie, I got you. I
So
got you. I got
I
you.
know-
Maddie, I got you. I got you. So yes, I get that, Maddie. We've already said this. It does have issues, right? But my entire point to you is that they're not the only example of universal health care, Maddie. There are other countries that have universal health care that don't have those problems.
We've already went over that.
Okay,
Neither of
cool.
us have studied
So hold on. So cool. So when I say that we should have universal health care, you automatically jump to Canada and not the other systems that are better than Canada.
The first thing I said is yes, I want universal health care. I think it would be great. I would love to
Cool.
not have to
So
pay
we can
for
move on
healthcare.
then. We can move on then.
Okay, let's move on to the second one.
All right, cool. So
why? Let me ask you a question. Why is it so important to dis or disprove God? Why can't you just let people live?
People can live
Why
the
do you
way they
care
want.
so much what people think?
People can live the way they want. I didn't say they can't believe in God. That's not what I said. That's not what it says.
You got a whole
it says
platform
right here,
debating people
right
on
here.
faith.
No, it doesn't. No, right here it says, why should I believe in a God? It doesn't mean that you shouldn't believe either. I'm asking you, why should I believe?
Oh, well, on that note, I don't care.
Okay, can you tell him to
There you
hold
go.
on for a second?
Maddie, hold on
Volcy?
for a second. What's up, Kay?
Night nurse, why are you addressing what the caller is saying towards me though? I'm not getting that.
Oh, not night nurse. I'm not sure what night nurse is about. Night nurse, if you want to come up, you can come up. Sorry about that, Maddie. I was just talking over
you
to
can come up, night nurse, because I am not the caller.
Give me a second. Yeah. All right. So yeah, I was just talking over to my TikTok. All right. So when it comes to the question, right? Why should I believe in a God? I'm just asking people why should I believe, and I challenge them on this because obviously religion it affects a lot of our society. So, and not only that, I want to normalize atheism, right? Because you'll be surprised how many people will take a look at somebody like me, assume that I'm Christian or Muslim, and if I'm not, they think something is physically or mentally wrong with me, and there isn't. So that's the reason why I do these type of things.
But here is also the point.
Give me a second.
Why shouldn't we?
And I see bad on both sides. People who are religious and people who are atheists. I see horrible behavior on both sides.
There are assholes who are atheists. No doubt. No one doubts that.
You know what I mean?
But
like
can
there's
you
atheists who will
turn the
look
pause
at
for a
anybody who
second?
believes, oh, you believe in some freaking guy who's up in the clouds, you're a weirdo. Like there's people who have the same exact
Well,
notion.
that is weird behavior.
Yes. Yeah, sure.
We got to normalize what we got to
so Maddie,
normalize
pause.
is not judging people.
Maddie, pause.
Not judging people based on
Maddie, pause me real quick. I have someone asking me a question on my TikTok. Go ahead, Kay.
Well, first, I would definitely think that Christianity in particular absolutely should be judged for the things that it has done to oppress people, particularly and notably the LGBTQ community, women, and formerly the Black community, which was used to justify enslavement. My question to him is, why shouldn't Christianity and Abrahamic religions and theism in general be put on a microscope when we live in a country where theism, in particular Christianity, is in everything from our judicial system to our education system, etc. Why should we not judge people who are using make-believe, mythical beliefs to make laws that now impact every citizen in this country?
Cool. All right. So the question that came over from TikTok, Maddie, is that why shouldn't Christianity be put under a microscope? Because number one, it does have, like I said, effects on us, right? There are people who are using it to make certain laws, particularly against the LGBTQ community, and it was used to justify the enslavement and oppression of Black people in the United States and abroad. So why shouldn't it be put under a microscope?
I think, well, first of all, everything should be put under a microscope. Every religion, every single thing should be put under a
But you
microscope.
didn't make that argument. That's Christian. We're talking about
evil
Christianity.
People
So
can use
address that.
anything to interpret it and use it against you. So I'm of the state of mind, and Jesus also taught this, that organized religion is evil. I believe in a higher power. I don't know what it's called. I don't know what his name is, her name is. I think there's something above me. I'm saying there's too much love, there's too much beauty to just have come from dust floating around in space.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. So yeah,
that's
things
hard
are
for me to wrap my head around. But listen, so yes, I believe organized religion is evil. But that doesn't mean that people's personal faith should be brought under question.
The
You know, my
reason
personal
why,
faith and
right?
what
So, Maddie,
organization uses as a justification are two different things.
but again, Matt, the reason why we bring it into question is because of the effects that it has, and not only that, I think that everyone should be thinking critically about what they believe. Right, we should all be thinking critically about that, especially if it's something as important as why is there something rather than nothing. It's a mystery, right? So we should all be thinking critically about my entire mission here.
Absolutely,
my entire mission here is normalization, having conversations, and for people to think critically about what they believe. You don't have to abandon a belief; just think critically about.
I mean, I got plenty of people I love that are atheist. I got plenty of people that I love that are Christian. I got people I love that are Muslim.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I think preconceived notions, having judgments on preconceived notions is the issue here.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So,
and then when it comes to government, it's simple. There's separation of church and government. Church and
exactly.
state.
In practice, there's not.
There.
Not in practice. Ask him. Does he really believe that? Does he really believe that Roe versus Wade had no?
So I mean, that
religion did not play a part in that getting overturned.
All right. Yeah. There's a question that came from my TikTok. Do you believe that religion didn't play a part in Roe versus Wade? Because I think it definitely did.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it did. Okay, cool. All right, so okay, we agree there. All right,
you
cool.
just demonstrated. So tell him that your host just said that he just demonstrated that church separation of church and state does not actually practice.
Right. All right. So so overall on my TikTok, what my host said is that even though there's separation of church and state, at least on paper, or at least what is supposed to be in one of the papers, it doesn't happen in practice. And that's one of the main things that we're having issues with, and that we want to be against. Hold on real quick, baby.
I'm against that too.
Oh, give me a second. Baby, come back. Mm-hmm. Baby, come back. Did you want to were you want to go out? Oh, okay, I know y'all want to go out tonight. All right, y'all. I'm going out with wifey tonight. I'm gonna get out of here. Maddie, I appreciate you. I'll call in anytime. All right.
No doubt.
All right.
Yes, I bet she's dressed to the nines and look all good. I'm giving my sister her tans. Ow.
Yeah, she came from me. How me all dressed all nice. I'm like, baby, we're going out tonight? I didn't know. I didn't know she wanted to go out tonight. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, guys.
Like, you did not know that y'all had a date night plan?
We didn't plan one. She just said, baby, let's go out. I said, oh, okay, because we didn't plan one.
Okay, period.
Well, let's get out of here. Yeah.
I'm like, well, appreciate her outfit. And her getting ready, and like we as women, it takes a lot of time to get ready, so appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Hey, Kay, I appreciate you as always. Once I figure out how to do this back and forth thing, I'm gonna figure it out sooner or later. All right.
I'm the child. You've been saying that for the past 2 months.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't know how to do this, but I'll figure it out sooner or later.
I'm like, along with the fact that we still haven't figured out how I'm gonna get on the Black Atheist Coalition YouTube page. We still haven't figured that out.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So I do appreciate you, Cape. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. All right.
All right. Give the wifey
Oh, didn't mean to cut you off there. My bad. Didn't mean to cut you off. All right, so I'm gonna get out of here, guys. I do appreciate y'all for being here. Y'all's gonna have a good night. I've been on for about 2 hours and 30 minutes. Y'all remember to subscribe everywhere. Deconstruction Junction. Subscribe to the Black Atheist Coalition. Subscribe to my channel, Volcy Thoughts. Y'all's have a good night. I appreciate y'all. And as always, every man should be soft, be secure, be affectionate, be wise, be flexible,